There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered.
Incredible as they seem, are not the results of mass hysteria. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen first discounted their eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word that's just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed. We're able to report a definite course of action. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible.
No longer seek occupancy in private residences, no matter how safe or well protected they may be.
They use maybe 5% of the food available in the human body.
The kind of thing.
With that small amount, the body is usually intact enough to be mobile when it revives.
What are you saying? I mean, you're science.
Dummies!
You're suggesting...
Dummies! Dummies!
Excuse me. Listen, quiet.
One wonders whether it's worth saving. Why don't we drop bombs in all the big cities?
You're probably serious.
I'm deadly serious. What are the choices? They won't run out of food, young lady. That's the problem, you see. And they won't run out of food while we're still alive.
We can lift you out to safety. Please answer my call if you can hear me.
We've got to remain logical. We've got to. There's no choice. It has to be. It's that or the end.
Attention all shoppers. Attention all shoppers.
One-stop shopping. Everything you need right at your fingertips. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs. We got it all. Why pay more when the sales are a boffin right here? shop.alpharomero.store.
Hey, it's Greg Nicotero. You are, or if you're not, should be watching Alpha Romero on YouTube.
And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Another packed house tonight. What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all.
Howdy, howdy.
So, yeah, another packed house tonight. Doing the Day of the Dead live fan commentary tonight in preparation for the Living Dead weekend coming up in just a mere, 4 days? 5 days?
4 days.
Well, yeah, until we're there. But, yes. How are you guys doing? I'll introduce you all one by one. Going from this way, back around, of course, to my right, left, whichever way you're looking. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matt Landrum. What's going on, Matt?
How's it going, guys? Good to see everybody. I'm super stoked to watch one of the greatest films ever made with y'all tonight, and looking forward to seeing all y'all in a few days in Monroeville in Pittsburgh. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, sir. Yep. Should be fun. And then next to him is the man, Ed Trader, Music and Entertainment. What's going on, Ed? How are you?
You're all blessed to be in my presence. No, I'm kidding. I'm blessed to be in your presence.
That's right. I'm running this monkey farm now.
Worthy. We're not worthy.
Get up. Get up.
How you been, man?
Hand injury. Other than that, been doing great.
What happened to your hand?
Dog attack.
Jesus.
Oh, no. I came this close to losing his finger right here, so pretty lucky.
Goodness.
What are you a mailman?
No, just a dog out in the yard.
Well, I'm glad you're all right. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Thank you.
Maybe he's a dog catcher.
Well, you all missed him. There he is down there. He's the world traveler, the world renowned, the one and only Will Phelps. What's going on, Will?
What's up, man?
How you been?
Pretty good. Just got moved. Finally settled.
How are you liking the new location?
Interesting.
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
You're still in Western Kentucky. You're just in like a different location in Western Kentucky, and it's I've lived there, Murray, Kentucky. I've lived there, and it's a
different breed.
Yeah, it's a weird mix of college kids, hillbillies, rednecks, and old people. And if you go to the Walmart there, you'll never know what you're gonna run into.
I met my first toothless Frenchman. I was like, wait, toothless Frenchman? And
when you met your first toothless Frenchman, you know you've made it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good book title, actually. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, glad you could make it, man. We'll be seeing you here in a few days, and then right next to him is the man himself, Mr. Paul Farver. What's going on, Paul? How are you?
What's going on, gentlemen? Living the best life. Excited for next week. That's all I can think about. I am actually like almost completely packed.
Dude, I've been packing for 3 days
all I do
already.
is pack my toiletries, and I'm like, I'm good to go. So ship me off to Monroeville.
Bag sitting next to the front door, ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, God, so stoked.
And then down below me, my buddy and yours, Mr. Synth Addict. What's going on, Synth? Glad you can make it.
How's it going? Yeah, sorry, I just came in the 11th hour there. Running around like a madman. It's like a heat wave out here right now. I just turned the AC on because it's just...
I know, I'm burning up here. I don't know why, but it's hot as hell here, too. It's just like muggy, like real muggy here.
So I'm looking forward to Monroeville because it'll be much cooler. So
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. But thanks for joining me tonight. This should be fun. Been looking forward to this one. Of course, the Dawn of the Dead watch along fan commentary, whatever you want to call it, was a blast. So I know I knew Day of the Dead was, and I'm glad you were able to make it this time, Matt. Or you made it last time, but you didn't make it far until you were almost blown away. And
Yep. Lost power. I was trying to do this shit by fucking candlelight, and it just. I guess everybody in the area was on LTE and sucking up all the internet, so I just could not make it through, man. I tried. I had my laptop on with Dawn playing on the laptop, so that I could still try to get through it, but it just fell apart.
You made as good of an effort as anybody would ever make to hang in there, but there's only so much you can do when there's a deadly storm blowing through your neighborhood. So
But thank you for letting me come back and hop back on with you guys. And this one especially. Well, come on. This one's super special for me, so I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad that I'm here with you guys.
Yeah,
man,
none of the hard
absolutely.
stuff tonight, just regular old beer. So
Yeah.
I got to leave tomorrow. I got to
When I-
cut the
when I-
grass tomorrow and stuff. So
When I saw you were getting on, I don't have any Jack, but I almost busted out the Jaeger. I was like, if we're fucking drinking, we're drinking.
Oh,
Let's
damn.
do it.
well,
Yeah.
Jack, that's special. That's a Dawn. That's a Dawn.
Yeah,
hard alcohol,
I
so.
get it.
In a styrofoam cup. You gotta have a styrofoam
Yeah.
cup.
That's
Oh
true,
yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
With the TV.
But I'll still at least kick back a couple beers with you tonight, and hopefully a few in person. A couple of Iron Cities, man.
Oh,
Really looking forward to
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
are we,
it's a
are we
budget.
getting hammered one night, or what are we doing?
Well, I was gonna run it by you guys. I know a couple of us are gonna be at the VIP thing, but I have been given a hall pass. There's one night where I can do whatever. So if you guys want to go hit some fucking bars or whatever, I'm down, dude. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'm down.
Or just go to someone's room and watch Dawn.
Yeah.
And just
We can do that too.
Hammered. Yeah.
We track down Larry and watch the 30 minutes of the dailies that he has.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm sure he'll have those handy.
Yeah.
I'll watch them again. Let's see. Let's see what we got in the chat. We got people quoting the movie already. I think people are ready for this one. Mr. Chad Lanky's in the house. What's going on, Chad? Since it's a fucking loony bin, I ain't being paid enough to work. I thought this was you, Synth, saying that you weren't showing up because you weren't being paid.
No.
I was like, oh.
It does
Chad
time a
saying
little
he ain't
bit,
getting paid at all. Nathan, what's going on, man? Nathan B said, "Excuse me, is there food?" Let's see. Welcoming everyone to the monkey farm. Chad says he's running the monkey farm.
There's new roads in town.
Do what?
I said there's a new roads in town.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were saying you
dude.
had new roads in town. I was like,
No.
oh, that's good use of tax dollars. I'm all for that.
Listen, I got to interject and say I'm so glad that Will is on here because I cannot imagine getting through this without at least one or two quotes from the fucking man himself. This dude knows every quote, everything ever from Day of the Dead. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like word for word.
Oh, I mean,
Good morning, Mr. Phelps.
yeah, Will is good at all kinds of different movies. I think on the way to Atlanta that one time when we were stuck in traffic, I think he quoted the entire movie Friday to me from the beginning to end. Every character, every scene. He's awesome. Very gifted. He's got a gift. Chad says, I showed this movie to 80 of my young soldiers who had no clue, and they loved it. Very cool. Very cool. It's definitely a good movie to show a group of 80 soldiers, I think. So
yeah.
What
they
not
might
to
dig
do.
it. Yeah. Robert's in the house. What's going on, Robert? Says hello. Of course, Bonnie Bailey. What's going on, Bonnie? Good to see you. Stukas made it. What's going on, Stukas? Glad to see you as always. Robert says, I won't be watching, but I'll be listening to the conversation. No worries, yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to watch along in the chat, be sure to watch along. I think there's a version of it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. I think I've seen it on YouTube before. The open mat 35 millimeter thing is on YouTube because I watched that during Halloween. Really so it is probably the best that it's ever looked. Is that version? I think even better than the Blu-rays.
There's still like an HD transfer, I think, or 1080p.
Yeah, it looks great.
Something like that.
Do we know who sourced that video? Do we know where it comes from, by any chance?
Excuse me.
Larry,
I can't remember his name. But yeah, Larry knows who it is. It's a guy that that has, and he used to, I guess not bootleg it, but he had all these old. He used to work at a theater and used to have all these 35 millimeter prints of all this stuff, and he just started digitizing them. And he has a website, or had a website, where you could email him and buy them from. He, burn them to a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatnot, and he would sell them to you over there. But I just got so much that he stopped doing that. I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it is a guy that has a ton of these 35 millimeter prints, and he's just, I don't know if it's him doing it or if it's people that have bought it off of him that are doing it, that are putting them up on YouTube. But yeah, that's the source of it, I'm pretty sure.
Awesome.
It's not the guy that does the Paul, the guy that did the Dawn 35 millimeter. Is it the same guy?
Rob's Nostalgia
Yeah,
thing?
Rob's Nostalgia. I wonder if he's...
I don't think it's him. He's just strictly like physical media, like guy.
Okay.
So I don't know who uploaded that print onto YouTube, but I don't think it was him.
Okay.
No, I can't remember what
But
the guy's name
he's
was. I'll have
amassed
to go
quite
back.
a collection.
Oh yeah.
I have to go back and look. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that's kind of the story behind that, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, it might be Chris McGibbon, because he sent me this Japanese. I think it's an open mat print through Google Drive last year, and pretty sure it's the same one that's on YouTube. It's all in English too, so
it might be.
Don't know
It
for
might
sure.
be the one him doing the YouTube. But I think the actual story, I can't think of what the guy's name was, but it wasn't him. I know who you're talking about, Chris. He does the podcast with Felsher, I believe.
Yep.
That's the same guy. Brett's in the house. What's going on, Brett? 1911
Brett.
Guitar Dude says, I'm here. I know this film by heart, so we'll just be listening in. So much to be said about this one. Oh, yeah. Got the Mayor's in the house saying, hello, Romero, fellow Romero fans. What's going on, Mayor? Brian Stahl's in the house. What's up, Brian? Seeing you here next weekend. Fellow the Pittsburgher there. Steven's in the house. Steven Dewstrack Jr. Howdy, campers. Is there food? Well, I don't know. Anybody got any food? I saw Ed munching down on a bag of chips before we came on here, but I don't have any food here, unfortunately.
You could be like Steel and eat right out of a can. So
You're ready to monkey farm.
All gone, all gone.
Well, that was the last of the food, so
yeah.
Sorry, guys. Oh, Bub's in here.
All right.
Of course, Bub would be here for this one. His screen debut. I'm getting a little misty. I know.
Aw.
Very, very sweet.
Should have won an Oscar.
Should have. I told Howard Sherman that when I met him. I was like, dude, you should have been nominated for an Oscar for that. And he just kind of laughed. He was like, oh, yeah. I was like, no, you should. I mean, if in a fair world with all things being equal, I think there should be some award consideration for some of the performances in this movie. Joe Pilato,
absolutely.
Howard Sherman, come on.
Joe Pilato, of course. That's just.
How many of you guys actually met Joe Pilato somewhere? I wish I could have.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I met him 10 years ago, and it was just like the greatest thing ever.
I'll bet.
At the 30th anniversary, and he was just the coolest guy.
Yeah. He seems like he would be. He seems like he'd be really, really into talking about it and hanging out with fans.
He's got a lot to say. Or had a lot to say.
Yeah.
I always regret never meeting him. I was just too intimidated. I don't know. I was just so young, and I only knew him from Day of the Dead, and I was just like, oh man. And he kind of has this intimidating aura about him, you know. And he kind of had the long ponytail at the time, and the tank top, and letting the gun show. I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, from like all accounts, like Joe was like, quote the movie, like you would just one of the coolest guys you could possibly meet at a convention. So
yeah, I was kind of bummed about because Gary Clark, I think we've talked about this. Gary Clark was originally supposed to be at the 2020 Living Dead weekend, and then when they pushed it off to 2021 because of COVID, that time in between, he passed away. That sucks.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I never met Gary either.
What football team was he on?
New Orleans Saints, I believe.
Saints.
He played for the Saints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, right on. I didn't know that.
Yeah. New Orleans Saints.
He was big.
Yeah.
Fucking biggest piece of meat in the cave.
I knew it was coming.
There we go.
Teed it up.
Crank start that lawnmower.
All right. Well, whenever you guys are ready to get this thing started, I'm ready. Whenever
ready.
You guys are. Everybody got it all synced up, ready to go?
Sure.
I'll be watching, like I said, the old Anchor Bay DVD.
Yep,
this is the one I
absolutely.
pulled off. I had the other one up there, but I was like, I'll just throw this one in because I don't think I've actually watched this one before, this actual version. I think I
Be
just
careful
bought
if you watch on YouTube. There's one that had a stretching problem. It looks all the faces look weird. So make sure you pick the right one where the aspect ratio is good. So
Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I think this is the one I just found for like $5 and just bought it because I didn't have it, So I'll watch this one. I'll give it a spin.
Well, which one are you watching on YouTube?
I got the DVD, the 2003 Anchor Bay DVD.
Sid, what are you watching it on?
I'm watching it's titled Day of the Dead 1985, and the channel's name is Roon, Roon. So it's already watched through it a little bit. It's good.
Okay.
Good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roon. Okay. That's the one I picked.
Roon.
Yeah.
I think I'll have.
Okay, so I think this one opens up to Sarah. So.
Where are you at? Somebody's got the music playing back there.
That's probably mine. The menu. Yeah.
All right. Make sure.
So really quickly, when's everyone getting into Pittsburgh next week?
I'm going to be rolling in town on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be rolling in town on Wednesday. It usually takes us about 2 days to get up there.
Gotcha.
So we stop in Virginia on Tuesday, and then we'll be in town on Wednesday morning. So,
man, you're driving?
Yeah, we drive every year, dude. We do the same thing every year. It's a hike, and it's going to be a little longer this time because we got the dogs with us this time. So
don't worry, I'm not driving.
But it's really cool. We love road trips, and that was sort of the original draw. The first time we went was we love seeing the country. We've never been up that way. And we kind of fell in love with the drive, man. I mean, it's so fucking beautiful.
What's the gas price where you are?
That's awesome.
Down here, I think it's like $2.80 right now.
Oh,
but
shit.
I have a hybrid. I mean, that's the whole reason that I bought a hybrid.
No, true. Cheapest gas here is like $4.80. So
on the West Coast,
Lord
I
almighty.
California.
that's the end of my large road trips. No more DC and back. So
yeah, but I'm telling you, man, once you get up into those mountains and like Virginia, West Virginia, up into Pennsylvania, it's the most breathtaking, beautiful stuff I've ever seen. So we love it, man. The FOMO from last year was unbearable. So
I know I could feel it. I could feel it texting with you and talking with you. I just felt I was just like, man, Matt's having some serious FOMO right now.
Yeah,
I felt bad.
And then you message me, you're like, "Don't worry, next June, that is my month." So,
oh yeah, no. I told my wife and my kid, I was like, I love you guys. We'll go to the beach this year, but from now on, June is my fucking month. Like it's mine. Yep. I don't care what you want to do. If you want to go to the beach, we'll go to the beach in July. We're going to Sanibel next month or in July. So like we're doing the family thing too. But June is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're getting there. I'm getting there Wednesday early evening. So
damn.
I know.
I'm gonna get the car. I'm gonna see the mall before it all starts again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get some footage, and then Thursday's like all the sites, all the crazy sites.
Yep.
So
that's what we're doing. The same thing. I'm trying to get up there early so that we can go ahead and knock out a lot of the family shit, all the museums and stuff. But also, you guys know the U.S. Open is going to be in town, so I'm anticipating like a lot of traffic, a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's been harder to find like hotels and stuff around there this year too.
Yeah,
and when you find them, they've jacked the prices up. I mean, to stay in Monroeville is crazy expensive.
Yeah, now I booked back in I think February, and the Red Roof, and it was like $60 a night. I'm like, that's fine. I didn't make it work. I'm not worried about it. Sleep and
just
shower.
over a
That's
week
good.
ago, I got really lucky.
What was that, Sin?
Paul, when are you getting there?
Thursday morning, like 10:30.
Sorry.
Are you good? What'd you say, Synth? You were kind of breaking up there.
I was just saying, considering I booked just about a week ago, I got real lucky with the prices. So
nice.
What about you?
Are you?
I'm the odd man out. I can't go this year.
Oh, you're not going?
No.
Oh shit, my bad, dude. I thought you were going.
I just do not have the money right now, and I lost a week's worth of work over a finger.
Oh yeah.
I got some wedding video stuff coming up to make some more money, but I'm not going to have it in time. I'm thinking about going to my own later in the year just to see them all, see whatever I can before they do close it down.
Yeah, for sure, man. See it while you can, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there has, I don't know, there's rumors out there that there could be another event or something happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be a Living Dead weekend per se, but there's rumors of something else happening before the end of the year.
Okay.
Just
What if they
rumors.
just
I don't know
a
anything.
fall one?
If they decide,
yeah, they used to do
Yeah.
Evan. Yeah, they used to do Evan City in the fall, but
well, if they decide to tear it down or whatever, we should go there anyways before they tear it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a good send off or something.
There's a lot of things that I need from that place.
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm on the first plane to Pittsburgh. If they announce it's getting demolished, I need something. You know?
You can grab some rubble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That
oh
would
yeah,
be,
I have a
would be
big
special
pile
show.
of pieces of the airport. So yeah, I'll definitely add some mall stuff in there.
I want some of those rocks that are like, as you know, on that entrance. You know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the blood spattered rocks. Yeah.
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 I just want to. I want one of the marble slabs like that. Screen used, of course, would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. And this is my decree for everybody that's going to be there this year. Like, I don't want to talk about like, oh, this is it. No, this is it. Blah blah. Oh, this is so sad and blah blah. No, fuck that. Have fun. Enjoy it while you can because, like, if you're sitting there worrying about, it's going to be torn down and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, then you're not enjoying it. You're not taking it in. Your last memories of being there are going to be moping around the damn mall wearing like, of course, there's a moment for that, I guess, before you, a moment for that before you leave, I guess. But,
This is my last food court item.
Don't let it ruin your whole trip.
My last cup of Eugene coffee. So yeah, don't do that. Let's all just have fun, and maybe the last day you're there, just kind of take a walk, kind of take it in, just in case, but just don't think about it. Just enjoy it while you're there. Enjoy it while you're there.
We definitely have to do some poses or whatever.
Oh, some poses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some recreations, like some recreations.
Oh, the gun
some
shot.
terroristic shit while we're there.
Yeah.
Let's threaten them.
Come on. Yeah.
Let's do some threats.
I have an Uzi
they're-
replica,
yeah.
so it's
If they're going to tear it down, just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
No, we got to do some
We're
stuff on the
taking pieces
biker
with us.
entrance.
Yeah.
I got the belly for the biker entrance, the entrance guy. So
Yeah. So when are you, Will and Mike? When are y'all getting in?
Thursday night.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
be like later Thursday evening. We're leaving Thursday morning. He's picking me up. You pick up the car at like 8, and it's a couple hours from me. So.
You know me, like I'll be on the road by 8:15. So
Yeah.
But you guys leave Monday,
It's
right?
a 2-hour drive, so you'll be here at around 8:50 or so.
Yeah.
Don't you guys leave on Monday?
No, Tuesday.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I have to fly out Sunday night, so it's late.
Yeah, we're staying an extra day instead of the day before.
Right on.
Good idea.
yeah, I got to drive down to Chicago Midway to fly out from there because I can't get a direct flight out of Milwaukee. So
It sucks.
it is what it is.
That's
But
weird.
I mean, for me, an hour and 20-minute flight versus like a 9-hour drive, I can't do it. And that's a whole extra day of vacation I'd have to use. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, listen, I know you were reaching out to people about mailing stuff back. If there's anything you need to pick up that's too big to take onto the plane, dude, let me know. I'll take it home with me and mail it for sure. You just let me know.
For sure. I actually just dropped a package off at FedEx office yesterday. It's getting shipped to the Monroeville FedEx office. I'll pick it up Thursday morning of stuff I'm going to get signed. So yeah, if one of you guys could mail it back to me, that would be fucking awesome.
You got it, brother. Anything you need for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
That's planning right there. You already got this
absolutely.
shit mapped out. Fucking this stuff is already in the mail.
Postage has been bought.
I'm not going to get a masonry trowel or a pile of screwdrivers or a gas pump handle through TSA.
No, you're not.
No.
Probably not. No.
Well, one way to get a screwdriver on the plane, you might not like it, but I know our way.
Yeah.
Ooh, like Easter.
See how dedicated you are.
So
a couple more beers, I'll let you know.
Will and Mike, are you guys staying in a hotel or are you Airbnb or what?
Well, we're staying at the Clarion in Cranberry Township.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a nice. It's an old standby. It's nice. It's affordable, and it's maybe 20 minutes from the mall. It's not that far. It's kind of there by Evans City and everything too. So
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
cool.
That's fine with me. We were looking at Airbnbs and stuff like that, but Those are just a little too pricey for me at this point. I'm just kind of like,
No,
and I'm
I
just
get
like,
it.
I'm barely going to be in the hotel. I was just going to be there to like sleep and shower and leave again.
Right.
And like, that's all we did last year. It was just like, all right, we run around all day and then all night. And then we're there, we sleep for like 3-4 hours and then we're gone again. And it's just like,
yeah.
It's just like, yeah. So,
we wound up getting an Airbnb over there in, I think it's is it Lawrenceville? It's over there near where the Savini mural is on that side of town.
Oh,
and we would have stayed at the place we usually stay. I think we stayed at the Marriott right there in Monroeville. But we got the dogs with us. It's just going to be easier to have a place for the backyard. So
yeah,
no dog sitters this year. So they got to make the trip with us. So it'll be Fulci over Pittsburgh this year.
Fulci comes to Pittsburgh. That's the name of the trip this year. Fulci comes to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
1911 Guitar Dude. Brett says Gary Clark played University of Arizona football. I'm proud to have graduated from the same university. Very cool.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
Brett.
Brett says I have the trip all booked. Me and the fam are looking forward to meeting you, Michael, and everyone else at the Sunday tour. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Finally meeting you, my man. You've been we've been in contact, and you've been following the channel for a long time now. You're one of the first, if I remember correctly, one of the first to comment. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that, man. I'm glad you're. I remember we've been having this conversation back and forth through all these streams and stuff over the last few years, and you're just like, man, I've always wanted to go to the mall, but I don't know. I just don't think we'll make it. I don't think we'll make it. And then finally this year, he's making it happen. So I'm
I love that.
thrilled for him.
Michael, as a YouTube personality, which you obviously have become, that's got to be so cool just to meet fans that you've only talked to. Through it was chats and stuff like that. And I love that. It's what the Romero connection has kind of transitioned into with social media and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and that's a cool part about going to Living Dead weekend is meeting people that like it's just cool that I inspired somebody to finally make the trip. Like Synth, it was awesome seeing Synth last year. I met Synth through YouTube, and then Synth finally makes the journey over, and it's like now he's just part of the group, And
I literally found your channel by accident. It was super lucky because I don't know even how it showed up on my feed. I've been as much of a Romero horror fan I've been my whole life, way back in the 80s. I kind of was into other stuff for a while, and then I don't know, I must have looked something up and you popped up. And then when I tried to get back to your channel, that fucking Alfa Romeo thing kept coming up.
Oh yeah.
So it's really hard to go right to your channel.
It always says, "Did you mean Alfa Romeo?" And it's like, which cars? And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
I got to grow the channel. I got to be more popular than the fucking car company at this point.
That's tough
for anybody to find me, but whatever.
Mine's pretty fucking popular though.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody.
He's gonna have his heel glasses on all weekend.
You got Nicotero on one of the chats. That's fucking unbelievable.
Turn and heel.
There you go.
I'm a damn jabroni over here.
That you look right there. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
No pictures. Leave me
no
alone.
pictures. Hey, I'm gonna be the next Savini.
Yeah. No, please don't do that.
No.
Hey, what do you want? What do you want?
I've actually been thinking a lot about that lately, and I don't, as much shit as we give that dude, he doesn't have to come out and sign at conventions and stuff like that. I feel like we've been a little tough on him, but then this last Days of the Dead, when I went and met him again, and I asked him about the mall, and he just looked at me and said, "I don't give a shit," and then just moved along. I was like, all right, you know what? That is the last fan interaction I think I'll ever have with Savini. And the newspaper prop that he signed, he fucking ripped it. And I was like,
oh man,
he was eating pizza and got pizza grease on it. So I was like, you know what? That's, I told my wife, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I think I've got everything that I need to get signed by Tom Savini signed. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just going to walk away now.
You know what's funny about that Dead Walk newspaper? Have you actually looked at it closely? Because just the headlines are there. The body of the text is about
it is
testing scores and obesity and all kinds of random stuff.
Well, when I met Nicotero and we got that video, he actually pointed that out on one of the columns it mentioned something about like female masturbation or something like that.
Oh, I didn't get that far. Yeah.
Like a medical study on female he went straight to it. I was like, yeah, look at this shit. I was like, whoa, fuck yeah, dude, that's rad.
There you go.
know? So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's all gibberish.
Yeah, I wish you could have made it too, Robert. I would have loved to have finally met you in person too, my man. But hey, maybe one day. Let's hope this isn't the last opportunity to get everybody together at the mall.
Yeah.
But hey, Steven Fernandez says, glad I made it tonight. So jealous of all of you that are going. Have fun.
Yeah.
Glad you could make it, my man.
Yeah, we were speaking of Brett. You know, I don't know if you saw, he just recently posted that video of all those badass laser discs that he's got. The day laser discs. Did you see that?
I don't guess I did. No.
No. Yeah. He's bringing one or two of them with him to get signed. But yeah, he's got like this huge collection of laser discs and like every version that was ever released of Day. It's pretty rad.
That's pretty awesome.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm getting the itch and the urge to start picking up some laser discs here lately. I don't know. I've never collected laser discs. I've never cared. For some reason here lately, I'm just kind of like,
I have a few
be kind of
random
cool.
ones.
It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Seeing Jace's collection has done it to me. That's where I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Jace is a bad influence. Jace is a bad influence. I watch some videos. I'm like, damn, I really would like that. That's pretty cool. I'm sure there's shit in here that I bought just because of Jace's videos.
I'm bringing my Night of Living Dead laser disc to have them sign. I mean, I don't have a laser disc player, but I mean, it looks awesome framed.
Oh yeah.
No. That is one thing about Laserdisc. It's like vinyl. It looks really good when you get it signed. Like it's it's a good thing to get signed by a lot of people.
Yeah. So really quickly, do we know if there's going to be any more guests added, or is this it?
Might be it, right?
Might be it.
I don't know.
Less than a week away. Maybe one more big one, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a Larry? I mean, I'll ask him tomorrow. We'll see. So I'm gonna have Larry and Daz on tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time for the official Living Dead Weekend preview show, and I'll ask him. But I don't know. There may be one more, possibly Larry. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that John Harrison hasn't been announced yet. I figured he would be one of the first ones.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping because I mean he was at the last Day of the Dead reunion show, Living Dead Weekend in 2021, and when I met him, but
I remember we talked like last year, and a lot of it was because of the whole DoubleTree situation.
Oh yeah,
couldn't get some guests,
the guests,
Yeah, that definitely hurt him in getting the guests and whatnot.
Yeah.
Larry says, "Don't hold your breath on more guests," but then again, I don't know or ask about guests. Okay.
Never hurts,
Yeah, it never hurts.
One thing I am stoked about, though, I got to get my hands on that.
Unless you're hinting with the "don't hold your breath" thing, unless you're hinting that Ted Danson is going to be a surprise last minute guest announcement. Don't hold your breath.
With a fart machine box. Right? So Leslie Nielsen's there in spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
the
it?
Spark box.
Oh, the Day of the Dead, the 40th anniversary hoodie. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to get my hands on that. That's
it's
like
like $60,
$100.
I bet.
Yeah, more than likely. And then you got to get 2 sizes because Fright Rags doesn't know how to fucking size shit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yep.
Fuck, man, I hate that.
Yeah, you try it on before you buy it, I guess.
There you go.
Hey,
the t-shirt
I did buy that Comfort Color Choke on them shirt, and it fits great. So.
Oh yeah, Comfort Colors rules, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a pretty cool shirt. I thought about that. Yeah, that is a pretty badass shirt. What's up, my lunatic 99's in the house? Glad to see you again. Steven says, wish he could go, making trip make the trip, safe travels, and have fun. I think it's what this says. I can't read. Robert says I would have loved to have met Big Daddy, the new bub. Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there. And if you stop by his table, he will talk you into buying something. I'm telling you.
Power selling.
He is a salesman for sure.
Let's see. Brett says Matt helped me pick out the Laserdisc jacket to bring to get signed. Bringing it along. Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's going with the US, I guess the US version, the video release version.
Okay.
Because I know there's he's got like a bunch of different Japanese laser discs and shit with different cover art.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty rad.
Pretty cool. I don't think I'm bringing too much. I'm gonna bring my my Making of Day of the Dead book. Probably get a few more signatures on that. Yeah, maybe a couple other things. Maybe we got a couple action figures over there. Mostly like some Bub stuff, some Howard Sherman. 'Cause I only got that one Howard Sherman 8x10 that he signed back in 2008, and this is the first time I'm seeing him since then. So I got quite a bit of shit that I'd like to get his signature on. But yeah, I'm mostly just kind of looking forward to seeing everybody, seeing you guys hanging out, and just kind of being there. And yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I say that every year, and then I get there, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta get all these signatures. I hit up the ATM, and then before I know it, I'm just like, might as well get him too. Yeah.
I've got a few stuff as backups if I want to get like Tom Savini's signature on like Knight Riders or something, but we'll see. Like he's not a priority this year, so.
God, I really want a Knight Riders piece so bad. Hey, before we begin, I just want to introduce my my new JCPenney Solid Slate TV.
Hell yeah, dude!
Who I don't know about.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Here, let me solo you. There you go.
There you go.
She's beautiful.
Is it fully functional?
There's mine right there.
Yes, it is fully functional.
Cool. Yeah, because Larry's selling an extra one that isn't fully functional. He told me so.
Yeah,
there's Matt's.
Yeah, right there. It's on top of the barrel and everything. You've inspired me, Mike.
Well, I'm glad.
That's just so weird.
I got
how
one,
that
and then all of a
happens,
sudden
though.
everybody else gets one now.
Like I find mine in Atlanta, and then
Yep.
Matt finds him in Nashville? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what the shit?
Almost like a couple of weeks in between each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that.
I was
That's kind of
holding that a deep secret. I was holding that a deep secret.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a serendipitous moment, I guess, because I know all of us were looking for one, and then boom, all of a sudden they just start fucking popping up. So.
Yeah.
Within like weeks and months of each other. Like, what are we
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'd been looking for a long time, and then it's just like, oh, okay, there's one here and one here. Okay.
The Hamza
my
box is, I had music instruments I was looking for 5 years, and it finally shows up on eBay, and so there you go. So.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to get this started?
Yep.
Let's do this. Everybody got it queued up. I'll give the countdown. If anybody's watching along, it's going to be a countdown of 3, 2, 1. Press play now, and on now we're all going to hit play, and then we're all going to watch Day of the Dead.
Okay.
So for those of you watching at home, if you want to take a second to get it queued up here, I'll hit these. Hit a few more comments. Let's see, Brett saying, man, if Reiniger and 4A might make a surprise appearance, I have a set of walkie-talkies for them to sign, holding out hope.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah, I would love that, but I don't think so. I think they would have been announced long ago.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Robert says I saw Knight Riders for the first time with my wife a couple of days ago. I liked it. Okay, very cool.
I love Knight Riders.
Yeah, me too. It's been a while since I've watched it.
Except the ticks. Except the ticks.
Yeah.
That's my favorite non-horror Romero movie. Definitely.
What's up, Chronologic? What's up, Chronologic? It's a new name. It says hello from Doylestown. Well, hello, Chronologic. Good to see you. Pennsylvania Romero fans represent. Absolutely. Hell yeah. I always love meeting Romero fans in Pittsburgh because it's just like they grew up in it, and it's like, oh, you actually know, because there's so many people that just don't even know. Like, so he also says Knight Riders is amazing, probably Tom Savini's best acting role. I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that.
Agreed.
They're saying Reiniger and Fourier are not making an appearance. Sorry. Yeah, I figured those would be the ones that would be kind of announced way ahead of time, but Yeah, Mai says, hi, I look forward to watching the feed from the event. Sadly, I wasn't able to secure PTO for it. I will make an effort to go see it through, though, before the year is done. Well, definitely subscribe to Synth's channel at Synth Addict, because he's gonna be documenting the whole damn thing for the most part. So, and I was actually just,
I'm like a cyborg.
Yeah. That's actually what I was doing earlier today. I was going back watching some of your stuff from last year, Synth, and just kind of getting hyped and kind of getting in the mood for it, kind of getting in the mode. I was like, this is awesome. So yeah, definitely go subscribe to Synth Addict. His
Check
all
the
these
live
guys,
and the videos tab, because I often have to upload videos later. You won't see them in the live, so it gets confusing. You'll miss content. So
yeah. So and everybody's linked to their YouTube channels down in the description below. So go subscribe to all these guys, so yeah, there you go. Where the hell was I?
Hey, by the way, Galen Ross could actually show up to this for a day because she's in the credits as New York casting. So.
Yeah,
that's right.
She shows up for that. Just like, sign my day poster, New York casting.
That's right.
What's up, Skinny White? Well, if that isn't the best mod name I've ever seen, there you go. I don't know. Yours is. I love Skinny White, and that's good. I like Skinny White. But all right, so we got it all queued up here, guys. Everybody ready to go?
Yep.
Let's roll. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, press play now. Ah, shit.
Start over.
Well, mine's starting with the Dolby Digital thing at the beginning. I forgot about this.
Okay, so how about we just queue up from where it opens up to Lori?
Yeah, hang on. Let me.
Or it says Laurel Production or something, whatever.
I don't have that, so I'm watching the same one as you since though.
So you are watching the YouTube version.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm paused on Sarah sitting down.
Okay. Hang on.
And she's been through it. That's like the best opening sequence, though. That's like the that.
I think me and Paul are on the same one here.
Yeah,
Paul there.
There he is.
There it is.
Yeah, me and Paul are synced up.
Perfect.
So right now it says United Film Distribution Company presents
Laurel. Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry about that. I forgot about that damn Dolby Digital thing that plays at the beginning of the Anchor Bay DVD versions.
Got to say, she was pretty damn gorgeous back in the day.
She still is. I mean, she's
aged
good, gracefully. You know.
Yeah.
I was working on something today for tomorrow's stream, and I was looking at her current photo compared to her photo from here, and other than just the hair color change, she looks almost exactly the same. Facially.
Exactly.
By the way, I love you can see the cutout areas before they go through. They tried their best, but you can still see all the hands are going to pop.
Yeah. They tried to camouflage it, but yeah, you can.
And then the whole wall moves, of course, as well. So
yeah. But it's a dream, Synth, so
it is.
I know.
It is. You get a pass.
You got to.
Even the dream, my cinder block wall won't move. I like the story she said. How one of the takes, her husband was one of the hands, and he was grabbing her breasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, before I knew this was Fort Myers, I always loved this town, this city, because
Wait, did we start? Did we start?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
We're in Fort Myers now.
Yeah.
They're in the helicopter talking.
Okay.
Sit down, John.
Sit down, John, if you can hear
148.
But this downtown area
somewhere
and
down
everything
there, somewhere down there you can see a car moving too.
Yeah. But it always reminded me of my hometown's downtown area for some reason. So it always it's like when I first saw this, like it got me really excited because I was like, "Oh, this looks like home." Like I know, looks like just the tower and the power lines and stuff, and it's the broad daylight. I don't know. You don't see stuff like that a lot in horror films, like a city in broad daylight. You know.
Yeah.
Is this the only movie he's known as Anthony DeLeo?
I think so. Yeah.
Because he goes by Tim and Anthony DeLeo. It's like, It's confusing.
Yeah. And Fort Myers still looks just like this pretty much too. I mean, the area where they get out of the helicopter is different, but most of the downtown still looks just like this.
Yeah.
Minus the matte painting, of course.
That has changed somewhat.
Yeah.
And of course, Howard Sherman would be credited as Sherman Howard in later
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
I don't know why.
He was also
but-
Sherman Howard in Miami Vice and some other stuff.
And Quantum Leap, he was in that.
And Star Trek.
He was in Lethal Weapon 2 as well.
Who was he in Star Trek?
really?
Sid?
Really?
He was in an episode where the alien kid wants to defect. Or they want to have him defect and he won't. He's part of their culture. A human living with the alien culture. So it's not a great episode. Good matte painting.
Pulsing drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. Behind them is a rec center on the left. That's not there anymore. That was there's a really good picture of it in Lee Carr's book.
Mm.
Yeah, you can kind of see that building that's got like the arch
Yeah.
with the glass on it. Yeah, that's
yeah, I don't-
gone.
Yeah, that whole like backdrop there looks complete. And there's like a median now, right? Like
Yeah.
going down that.
You guys know what
That's
one of the
changed somewhat.
posters is, right? That's on that.
What now?
One of the posters that was on the Edison Theater. That was 1990
Oh, what?
Bronx Warriors.
That's right.
Oh,
Bronx
that's great.
Warriors. Yeah.
Yep. Fucking love that movie.
Also,
The
2020
Pissed
Texas
Gator.
Gladiators is a classic.
Yeah. That's bullshit, yeah.
Now, this is supposed to be Tom Savini's face that got messed up, right? And they used it for this guy. He had
No,
cast of his own face.
I think so.
That was the story.
I don't know that it was his own face, but I know that what happened was they were trying to do something with a screwdriver and the appliance ripped and tore the jaw off, and that's
Ripped
why
it off,
that's how you
yeah.
got Dr.
Yeah.
Tom. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I didn't know that was a mold of him. I didn't know that.
That's what he said at one point. He could be wrong because he's, it's a long time ago.
I thought he said it was his body, his shoulders that were cast. Not his head, but just his shoulders.
Oh, could be, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
in the end, it was supposed to be like a guy with a shotgun blast across his head.
I like the gator. You can see he's got a bloody nose because they dropped it and he's bleeding.
Yeah.
Duct tape around it.
Poor Gator.
Yeah, no, it
Poor
sucks.
guy.
Poor Gator.
He
Larry's
got
saying
shot in South Park.
Galen won't be there. Got her to sign my day one sheet already. Okay, so there we go. There's no Galen, no Scotty, no Ken this year.
Damn.
Now, if you haven't seen it, South Park did a parody of this called Spare Change. Instead of
Yeah.
zombies, there were homeless people.
Fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
So if
And
you're not,
I
if you've not
remember
seen
when
it,
that
look for it.
aired too. I remember when that
Yeah.
aired too, and that shot popped up. I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's a Day of the Dead reference."
Yeah.
Then later had
That's what
Dr.
it's like
Logan.
when I drive around
and-
San
yeah.
Francisco. It's just
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, this was one of the most terrifying scenes to me, seeing all the horde and hearing the horde coming towards them.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was like blown away. I was like, "Holy shit, how scary!"
Well,
would
see,
that
when I
be?
first saw this, I was like, "Oh man, this is about to get real good," and then it's like, "Nope, we're flying away."
Nope.
And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
we're going
And you're
underground.
underground for
it's
2
a,
hours.
it's a teaser.
That's a good question, Chrono. It's actually, they were talking about this on Dead Pit the other night when they had Don May and Felcher on there. Is there a 4K coming for Day? I heard there may be some license. It's not so much a license issue as that nobody can find the original camera negative for Day of the Dead. It's still lost. There was a rumor there for a while that it had been found, but apparently that rumor was not true, and nobody knows where it's at still. So as of right now, no, nobody's doing a 4K of Day anytime soon.
Why does everything get lost?
I don't know. Just over time, you got to
That's
think
been a
like
lot
back
of
in,
kids.
people think back in the day it was like, oh, nobody saw like 4K or anything coming, so they were just like, we don't need this shit anymore. You know?
Yeah.
It's like all the stuff that was lost in the editing. Of all these movies that were just on the floor and they were just like probably just got swept up and thrown away because they were just like, nobody's going to want to see this anyway.
Well, it's like the
They would
990 work print. The work print looks terrible, but at least they have it, right? So
Yeah. Like Cobra.
It's like-
Same exact
It's like, Well, it's like professional wrestling. They used to tape over their tapes back in the day, and their film stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of TV stations used to do that about with a lot of things back in the day. I know Memphis, wasn't it Memphis TV, Memphis Wrestling? It used to do that.
Yep.
All that great stuff's lost forever.
A lot of Texas stuff is gone. Pittsburgh, a lot of that's gone.
Skinny White says, wait, am I crazy? But do all three in the original trilogy begin with a woman waking up from sleep? Didn't Barbara mention waking up from a nap while Johnny drove in Night of the Living Dead? I don't think so. I don't remember. I mean, it's possible she could have taken a nap on the way there, but I don't think it's mentioned in the movie. But there is definitely similarities between Dawn and Day of the first shot, a woman waking up and into a world of chaos type of thing. You know.
Barbara was just probably talking his head off.
That never happens.
Talking about women's lib and shit, you know.
Number 12.
It's like a mosquito treatment facility or something.
Yeah.
I haven't been over there. I was thinking about hopping the fence this year. I don't know. I might just get my drone over there. I know Larry's done it, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, I got the alternative.
Right.
Shit.
I'm listening for it because I can hear it through Paul's.
There it is. Yep.
Shit.
They cleaned up on that one.
That's the first thing I noticed when I got my media VHS of Day of the Dead. I noticed that line in particular right off the bat.
It's so weird how that happened.
It's not even like a TV version. It's just a stupid edit.
Yeah. Which luckily they did clean that up, and it is corrected in the Scream Factory Blu-ray that came out.
Yeah.
I think they did it for the Anchor Bay Blu-ray as well. I think they did clean it up for that at least.
Because the Anchor Bay Blu-ray is the same as this one, the DVD.
I love that siren sound for the elevator. It's the same as they use in the Thing when they had the big blowout in the Thing complex.
There's some 3 movie posters on the theater where UFDC distributed movies. So there you go. That's a fun fact.
100 miles each way.
Interesting.
Jump in here, soldier. Got to bring in 2 more dump parts. Let's go.
Brett's saying Romero's films were one of my inspirations to get my pilot's license back in the day. I love Romero's awesome aerial photography in so many of his films. Yeah, that's a good point. Like Romero's use of helicopters and stuff in all these films, definitely like anytime I see a helicopter flying wherever, like it immediately, like that's what I think of is, you know, Flyboy or Day of the Dead, or even the helicopter in Night of the Living Dead. And that was like one of the earliest uses of a helicopter in a movie, I think.
Yep.
Joe Zito said that's why he did it Friday 13th Part 4 because of George. Because the beginning had the helicopter flying away.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of UFDC, do you think that George's career would have benefited if he would have made Day first out of that 3-picture deal, and he would have been able to use those funds that he had originally allocated, that $7 million? Do you think his career would have benefited if he'd have made Day the way he wanted to first, before Night Riders and Creepshow?
Well, at what point did he sit down and actually write Day though? Did he have it written in 1980? At the beginning, did he write it later? Kind of depends on when he wrote it.
Yeah,
there was an early version of Day of the Dead that he had written, and it was just called Zombies Are Coming or something like that. It was the name of it, just like an early title but it was called The Zombies Are Coming, and it was pretty much right after Dawn, I think, when he had that written. But I just don't think George really was interested in doing another zombie movie right away. I mean, that was kind of his.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But would it have benefited his career? Probably, because I mean, if he would have done a sequel almost immediately after Dawn of the Dead, I mean, after the success of Dawn of the Dead, I mean, I think that it would have.
Yeah, but since Gornick said they probably had limited funds for the 3-picture deal.
Dawn.
the Night Riders and Creepshow may have suffered, unfortunately.
Well, right, but that's what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted the next, the sequel to Dawn. And by the time that Day had come out, so much time had passed.
Yeah.
I feel like, if he would have been able to make his original vision with that 7 million, I think his career would have went a different direction.
To be fair, I have the original Day script. I didn't really like some of the ideas that were taken out.
Oh, sure.
So I'm kind of glad he did this one instead, and we got two other really good movies. So
yeah, I agree 100%. I'm curious because I know, was it Salah Hassanin? Is that the guy's name? I know he wanted him to make that. He wanted him to make Day first, and I think the fans originally wanted him to make Day first. And,
but if you made,
I'm curious.
Okay.
If you made Day first, Salah might have changed his mind though. If you'd have made Day first, Salah could have said, "You know what? Screw it."
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's no telling. That's why. Yeah.
Means you're a caveman, asshole. You're a fucking throwback.
There it is.
You've been spending too much time
point.
underground.
It is a good point, Ed. Like, let's say Day had come out and he did Day first, and Day had come out and wasn't a success.
Yeah.
But
if it flopped, it was way more expensive. It'd be bad. So
yeah, they had a contract, so I would think that they would still have to honor that contract, and George would still have 2 more films.
The
but
lawyers are good about that shit. You got to watch.
Well,
out.
yeah. But if nothing else, the leash would be shorter, and the budgets would be smaller, and it would just be more,
Well, three picture deal, but what was the finances of those 3 films?
Well, but that's the thing is originally the funds for Day were much more, right? And then
he said it was going to be a $7 million picture, I think.
He only gave him like what 3 to make.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
about
actually
3
got?
now.
You could do it unrated wherever you want.
Yeah.
Because it said Night Riders. It said Night Riders was a complete wash, just a complete wash.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it was. It didn't do well at all. But I've thought about that a lot over the last couple of years and just wondered what could have been. I know sometimes you do those what could have been videos, and it's got me thinking like what could have happened. What direction could George have went in if he'd have made Day the way he wanted it to originally first.
Well, Savini had 5 more years of learning than he did as well. He did Friday 13th, did his other movies, The Burning, The Prowler, so he got better. So if he did it in 1980, he might have been as good as he was here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point too. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same film at all.
Yeah,
things happened
the way they should have happened. It all happened the way it should have happened. I just it's always a thought in my mind.
So since we're talking about Savini and the effects, which are obviously great, they really hold up. But my problem with this, it's so grounded in reality in a lot of ways, like a lot of Romero stuff is, but the blood is way too red for advanced decayed zombies in this movie. It should be more brownish red.
Yeah.
Because hemoglobin changes chemically very quickly. It would have looked more realistic if they made it less bright red, I think.
Like Burial Ground got it right.
Yeah.
That's the first time those words have ever been spoken. Yeah. Burial Ground got it right.
Oh, I love Burial Ground. I love it.
Yeah. I know you do. I love Burial Ground too. It's a fun fucking movie, but I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say Burial Ground got it right. By God.
Yeah. Yeah, I try not to think about that kind of stuff. I mean, we're talking about the logistics of a zombie film. You know what I mean? Like it's not ever going to happen. But it's a suspension of belief, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, in return, he got a complete skeleton that moves around. How's a complete skeleton going to move around?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they fucking knocked Tarman's head off, and now there's a sequel with Tarman in it. So how the fuck does that work?
Son of Tarman.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Larry saying Synth is trying to ruin the movie.
I'm just it's a little bit of nitpicking because his movies are grounded in reality and it really sells it if you push it a bit. That's it. I'm still a huge fan. I'm not saying that anything's bad.
Right.
Nicotero would agree. He was pre-med, so.
Well, it's like, how could a zombie drool? They're not producing any kind of liquids. How could they drool?
Exactly, yeah.
Well,
if the blood set, and if the blood settles,
well, God damn it, this movie just isn't realistic. I'm not.
No, compared to most zombie movies, it is more realistic.
My zombie
That's
movies realistic. Damn it.
Yeah.
It is more realistic than most. That's the thing.
But the whole movie is supposed to be a dream too, so it's what Sarah sees, not what we see.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, that's an interesting thing too. Is like,
Invaders from
is
Mars
all of this a
territory.
dream? Or...
Yeah.
I don't like the dream stuff. That's bad.
I like to think just the beginning and the end is a dream. They got away in a helicopter, they flew off, then she had a dream. You know.
What about Nightmare City? Where does that factor in?
Oh my God.
Good question.
That was all a dream.
That was all a dream. Oh, a nightmare.
Yeah. But then the dream becomes a reality. I love that fucking movie. I don't care.
No, dude, I love that fucking movie. Toxic Avenger looking hatchet wielding zombies. There's nothing better.
And one of the best dummy effects in movie history.
Yes. It's not even just the dummy effect, but it's the overdubbed screaming as the dummy's hitting on the way down.
On the roller coaster?
Yes.
Yeah. What was an interview with? I think it was Tarantino and whoever it was, and maybe not Castellari, Umberto Lenzi, and he was like, "They are infected the people. They're not zombies."
Yeah, I think he was very adamant about that. He did not like it when you called them zombies.
No, because they really weren't.
Right.
It's a fucking zombie movie. Come on. It's the formula of a zombie movie.
Right.
It's the outbreak. It's the gang of the monsters attacking the people. You know, it's like come on.
And they're regular blood.
Right. I mean, the same could be argued for 28 Days Later. They're zombies. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a zombie movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Zombie style, but they're not undead. So.
Well, that's the thing. Like I've always said, like I don't care, like what technically if they're undead coming back to life and all that, but it's the formula of the film that plays out. Like hiding out, hiding out from a group of like attackers of some sort that are not human. Like to me, like Last Man on Earth and shit like that, like pretty much a zombie movie. Like I know they're vampires or whatever.
Technically,
but...
it's
I love a good Vincent Price film.
For a while until we can evaluate his condition.
Can't spare him.
He's over the edge.
Love Rhodes. He's such an asshole, but God, just
hello.
Yeah.
Someone should really cosplay Captain Rhodes.
I would be surprised if somebody's not cosplaying as Captain Rhodes this year. Honestly,
I had a coworker that looked just like him. This guy could have been his brother or his twin.
I think it was 2021. Somebody cosplayed Gary Clark. He looked really similar to him.
Oh
too.
yeah,
awesome.
I remember that.
Yeah.
If you don't get Rhodes' hair just right, then don't even try.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all in the hair.
I can do Rhodes.
Just like Michael with you, it's all the mustache. Don't ever shave that.
Right.
That is Tom Selleck status right there.
Stash. The power's in the stash. I've
not
learned.
More like Ron Jeremy.
Well, I was thinking. When,
Magnum TA.
I forget. I think it was Will sent me this Iron City shirt. It's like a Hawaiian shirt with like Iron City on it. It's got like the Hawaiian stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I wore that, I would look like Jim Bafko in Knight Riders. Like, give me another beer, Helen.
She called
God,
me.
he's such an asshole in that film.
It's funny, Bafko's so good at playing assholes in those movies, but he's like apparently like one of the nicest, like most like well-read guys you could meet. He's written books on acting and like.
Well, that because he's a true actor, you will play reprobates because that's the role, right? So
yeah.
Frankenstein is in the laboratory. Where else?
Now, I first saw this when I was 8 years old. The only jump scare I had in this movie is when Howard Sherman Bub first pops up here.
Mm-hmm.
He comes on screen. He had the sound effect right on it. It's all dark. You see a look of terror on her face. This was the
Yeah.
only thing that really kind of made me jump.
Look,
It's really well done. You don't see it
The
coming. Nope.
See, bam, right
Style
there. 8 years
stinger.
old. 8 years old. I jumped out of my seat almost.
But then it's that little music cue, and it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. I think.
Could you imagine the smell of that room right now?
Oh God.
It's funny. I think about that more now after talking to Jace when I had Jace on, and he was talking about his time working at a funeral home and being around dead bodies all the time, and just talking about the smell. I was like, I've thought about that, but I've never really thought about that. But yeah, this room especially could you imagine just the amount of shit that Logan's been doing to them in here?
It depends on the bacteria of the dead.
What's up,
these
Rob?
guts-
This day is such a masterpiece. I agree, sir. I agree.
Absolutely.
These guts were packed up and reused for Tim
Herc
DeLeo and those are the ones that Joe Pilato, the same guts that Joe Pilato was puking over.
Yeah.
As tears come in.
Guts in the
Can't make that kind of stuff up. Like somebody unplugged the refrigerator. Of course somebody did. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Sounds like a prank.
So this part's actually legit. He's talking about the R complex and stuff. This is great. It's very nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of impractical, though. I mean, how are you going to do this for every zombie out there? Really?
Oh, you're not. By the way, this is the one they call
clit.
moose knuckle.
Yeah, moose clit.
Yeah, that's it.
Moose clit.
Moose clit. Oh, yeah.
Moose clit. It looks like a moose clit.
But all these years later, it still looks great. Like the practical effects,
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it still works. Like it still just works. And I would
Seriously,
argue,
the
I would
pinnacle.
honestly, I would argue that the practical effects in this still work better to this day than the practical effects in The Thing. Like
Yeah,
I, because I've seen, I watched the thing on, I watched the thing on 4K, and I was like, there were some of the effects in that I was just kind of like, yeah, you can kind of sit through that. Now I haven't watched Day in 4K yet. There is like a 4K upscale or an upres on YouTube, but
Just to be fair,
Still
the thing was
still looks
1982 and was one man. He's like 20 years old or 22 years old. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Was there?
you're right.
Was
I'm
there
not putting
any-
it down. I'm not saying
No, no, I'm
Robo-Teen
just-
sucks or anything.
They're both great, obviously, but
And what they were doing with the thing was way more advanced than
Exactly, yeah.
in terms of like trying to build creatures and all this.
well, it had
stuff,
everything in the book. It had stop motion. It had all kinds of clever tricks, puppetry.
But in terms of just see through from that time period of practical effects, like
I'll show them that these creatures can be domesticated even without.
Dude, the pinnacle of 80s practical effects. Plain and simple.
We can begin to approach
I agree.
and I feel like Tom felt that way too, because I feel like after Day of the Dead, I kind of felt like Tom kind of lost interest in doing effects. Like he wanted to be a director. You started hearing him talk about that a lot more in interviews after 85.
Yeah.
Because he was
Well, this is
originally
his
supposed to
this
do
is-
Graveyard Shift, Stephen King's Graveyard Shift, before he did Night 90.
Yeah, this was his masterpiece. This is where he kind of peaked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you top it, really?
You can't.
Robert saying, Mike, you're crazy. Your bias is blinding you. Day effects are nowhere near as good as The Thing. Come on, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, in terms of looking at them today and holding them up side by side, there are moments in the thing where you can look and you can say, like, yeah, it does kind of look.
So what
a little
is there
rubbery there.
any particular effect that you feel that way about?
When I think of the thing, the eyeballs seem a little too fake. Some of the creatures' eyeballs. For me, anyways.
It's a different style too, because it's creature effects versus human horror, body horror. So
I still love how Logan casually grabs the drill and just takes them out.
He's
It's
just like,
it's routine
okay.
for him at this point. Yeah.
This is what we got to do.
I'm sure there's others.
oh, here comes one of the great lines. All the shopping malls are closed.
Yeah.
This entire scene just full of lines, like watching Tombstone.
This is just something out of. This is just. It's like a stage play. Like you could do this. Like this could just be a stage play.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you know,
this scene-
George is George has said that. He said that he used to, when I think he said something about taking a trip with his family one time, and they were just playing Day in the background. And he said he was cracking up because he said this could actually work as a play.
You have what,
It's like
7
Glenn-
minutes? You have what, 7 minutes here? It costs nothing to produce. There's them and a camera.
It's like Glenn Ross in the Apocalypse, right? So the guys fighting all the time.
Now, did y'all see the hotel commercial he did?
Yeah.
The towels are scratchy. The towels are scratchy.
Yeah, Jarlath is still acting in a lot of different things these days.
Speaking
He's
of
in
Greg,
something here recently.
Yeah.
So, is there any word on the Day of the Dead Part 2 or whatever?
No, I don't think so. I think that's cooked, man. Night of the Living Dead 2 or whatever. Yeah, I don't think they.
No, it was Day of the Dead. You know, it had.
Well, they did a Day of the Dead 2, and it's
not the Contagion one. Not the Contagion one.
No.
I love that movie.
It was
so good.
It was Night of the Living Dead 2, but it had the cast from Day of the Dead. It was all the same people, and no, they couldn't get the money together to make it.
There's a lot of fancy terms that don't mean things. I want to know if you're doing something that's going to help us out of this deep
shit we're in.
or if you're all just in there jerking each other off.
Hey, she's got an honest God.
The way they deliver the profanity in this is so brutal and just like in your face. Like they mean it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
I would definitely say that I am more Rickles than anyone else out of
absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll go around. Like, if you could identify, which character do you identify with? Like, if you were in this cave as one of these characters, who would you say that you were? We'll start. Go ahead, Matt. You go first.
I would probably be John. I'd be ready to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible, and I wouldn't be willing to help anybody. I would be like, all right, I'm sticking to myself. This is a waste of time. I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. So yeah, that's probably who I would be.
Okay, so you're heading out and just saying, fuck it, let's not even try to solve this issue. Let's just live it up while we can. I agree.
Motherfucker, I'm ready to soak up some sunshine. That's what I want to do. I'm not getting stuck in a cave. You know what I mean?
Get some babies, right?
No. Make some babies.
Get some babies.
Get some babies.
That's the worst. Yeah. That's one of the weirdest pickup lines I've ever heard in a movie.
Yeah.
Come on, Sarah. Me and you, we go to an island. Get some babies.
Exactly.
Hey, it worked. It worked.
We'll see if we can get a video of him saying that or something.
Hey, the only female left in the world. Come with me and let's make some fucking babies. Right?
Yeah. It's all for for the good of the world. Nothing. That's it.
There's the glorious Smith & Wesson Model 629. I love those things. 44 caliber.
What about you, Ed? Who are you in the cave?
I'll probably be still, just making jokes, doing whatever.
You think you could wrangle those zombies though?
Y'all remember too that only 3 of these people fucking live. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, that's true.
So Rickles, I'd have made it out.
I'm definitely fucking Rickles. I'm yeah, for sure.
Okay. What about you, Paul? Who are you?
I hate to say it, I don't know, but I've got to be Rhodes.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, Paul,
he's in charge.
Rhodes is one of the biggest assholes of all time.
Yeah,
you're like one of the nicest guys ever.
I love him, and he's really right. Let's just get the fuck out of here. He doesn't give a shit about these experiments.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, yeah, he was right the whole time, But
where the fuck are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
To the island.
That's the point.
Where are they gonna go in Dawn of the Dead? Exactly, right? They're just gonna fly away.
They're going to Canada, remember?
But I gotta relate to Rhodes because of my job and stuff and the assholes that I deal with. I hate to say it, develop kind of a Rhodes mentality. Just dealing with bullshit and
what do you do?
I don't know. I don't talk down to people. I'm not a supervisor or anything, but I don't know. It's just I do get that mentality sometimes where
sure
I need to call people on their bullshit. So I gotta be Rhodes, and he's just Yeah, and I love Joe Pilato, so rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Sense.
Yep.
Sarah told me. I'm sorry I couldn't right away.
Who are you sent?
Oh, sorry. Technically, we're all a little bit of these characters, right? This is like that Pixar movie with all the characters in your head. We're actually a little bit of all these characters at some time, right?
Yeah,
I'll go with
And
that.
so I would, as a science nerd, I would be probably Sarah for a while and then say, this is nonsense. Nothing's working. Forget about it. I'd be a little bit more like, I'd be angry. So I'd probably be like Rhodes for a while. And then I would end up being like Flyboy to number 2 and the other guy. You know, drinking, having fun. Let's get the hell out of here and
McDermott.
get some babies.
Get some babies.
That's the books and records.
The other military guys are fun, but I wouldn't emulate them. So.
Well, I would just be McDermott because I'm just going to do what I can do against the good fight against Dry Rot and the rest, and just
That's
say, fuck it.
There you go.
And to get rid,
drink the pain away. Drink the pain away.
Yeah, it's like brandy. It's good for the heart.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
and you got plenty of radios to play with as well.
That's right.
There you go. Plenty of technology.
You know what? I'm changing my answer. I'm going with Michael here. I'm going to be him. I'm going to work on radios and drink. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
So who's the bigger asshole, Negan from Walking Dead or Rhodes?
Going Rhodes, dude.
Yeah, Rhodes. Come on.
Negan's a bitch. Like,
Well, before Negan changed, he was a bigger asshole because he loved it. He loved it. He lived it. He would never. He wasn't just doing authoritarian stuff. He was a real sociopath, psychopath.
I was talking with somebody about that. My last actual job I had. They never seen this movie before, and they could not believe somebody's worse than Negan. I'm like, check this movie out. Literally blow somebody's brains out. I mean,
Hey, come on. Look Rhodes has the better hair. Let's just come on.
that was Superman. That was Superman curl.
Yeah.
Well,
Plus,
to me,
Rhodes has the
I think-
Napoleon syndrome, right? He's a little guy. He's angry.
he's a short
so
dude.
he's a.
Well, I think there's something more. I think there's something more frightening about Rhodes too, because he's desperate. Negan wasn't desperate. You know what I mean? Negan had the world by the balls.
Yeah.
He had an army. He had everything he wanted. Rhodes is fucking desperate and he's scared, and that's what
Also,
makes
how
him
do you know
scared.
Major Cooper isn't dead because
That's
of
what
Rhodes?
makes him
This whole time he was
terrifying.
pining for control. He may have gotten him killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wonder about old Major Cooper. You wonder whatever.
No, and the thing about Negan also had somewhat of like morals, I guess, whereas Rhodes was just no.
Oh yeah, he was
nothing.
he was irredeemable. That's the thing. Is Rhodes is irredeemable. Negan
Nothing.
had some weird arc where now he's kind of a good guy or some shit. I don't know. I
Right?
stopped watching that shit a long time ago.
I did too, but yeah, we remember the episode. He bashed Glenn's
Doesn't-
brains in.
Doesn't
Well, two
Rhodes look like
characters.
Rhodes looks like a young Elvis in this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So one thing I never got, Logan is studying these guys, right? But he keeps not telling them what kind of updates, what kind of progress he's making. Why didn't I take Rhodes down to the lab and say, here's the R complex, here's what the brain's doing, here's what I'm doing. Show them something.
It's pretty salad, man.
I think
he
Logan's
doesn't-
just lost. Logan's lost his mind at this
Well,
point. Like, and he's not really trying to prove anything to anybody other than to himself. Like, he's trying. He's just obsessed with this concept, and he really like him just walking in and sitting down and just being completely dismissive of Rhodes and everything that's going on there. It's just his way of saying like, I don't give a shit what you guys do. Like, this is what I'm working on. This is all I care about. Like, you know.
Well, like he says, though, he could have talked him silly.
Yeah.
And plus,
Because, you know,
Rhodes isn't listening at this point. Like, these guys
Exactly.
are just
That's-
sick and
that's-
tired, you know. They're
Well,
just
that's
ready
what
to
I-
get the
yeah.
fuck out of there.
That's what I was
think
going to
Rhodes-
say. Is
Well, that's the thing, when
Rhodes has pretty much already made his mind up anyway. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
not listening to anything anybody has to say.
No. But he does think that Logan has some bit of hope for the future and to get him out of this deep shit they're in, you know?
Yeah.
Give him a little sparkle of something, you know. At least try.
Yeah, Rhodes isn't listening when they keeps putting Miguel in all these situations where he's going to fuck up and kill people.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
not a good leader.
Yeah. Terrible leader.
Nothing about this movie too is. Nothing about this movie too is. Look at the way they dress, the hairstyles. You can see that today.
Yeah.
You can see somebody dressed like that today. It helps the movie not age. You don't see
yeah.
cars. You don't see computers. You don't see. Nothing really dates this movie so bad.
Yeah, there's nothing dated about this film.
Although that's almost a
It
members
looks kinda
only jacket,
timeless.
isn't it? Isn't it?
I think so.
There's somebody out there with that jacket on right now somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a very good point too, Ed. That
Paul,
is kind
get
of
to
I
work,
think the
man.
one thing that's I guess one of the things that like as time has gone on, Day is more appreciated more and more because you can't really date it to something like a specific time period quite like you can like Dawn. You know, Dawn looks like the 70s, like it looks
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that
yeah.
time period, every bit of it, which is why we love it. But like Day is just almost timeless in the way that it looks.
The medical lab is the only
Makes
thing
it
that dates
awesome,
it.
yeah.
Everything else
That's a
is
good
pretty
thing.
timeless.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even then, they did not have proper equipment, so you could say either way as far as that goes. Why it
It was
looks so
military,
bad.
though. It was cutting edge military stuff, right?
Well, I don't know. They kind of say later on that did not have the proper working conditions, proper chemical agents, things like that.
I bet he was
So,
stuck
I
with
don't
the old radio because the modern ones failed, and the old ones were more tried and true.
Yeah, good old ham radio.
Like a really basic radio you could just fix easily. And
Yeah.
I think Tim DeLeo did such a good fucking job in this too. He's playing just a desperate, anxious. He's just you can tell he's just at the end of his rope, and I can't imagine what kind of place he had to go to get prepared for this role.
Well, I mean, from what I remember hearing, he was pretty method. Like he was pretty much
Yeah.
that guy on set at all times. So people, so there were kind of stories I've heard of some people on set kind of maybe having an issue with the way that he would interact with people behind the scenes on set. But he was just such a method actor, like to get into that headspace. Because I mean, you go back to that original scene where he gets the sedative and he slaps Sarah. Like that's just like a whole range of emotions. He's sad, he's angry, he's losing it, but then he breaks down, and then it's like that is an impressive scene.
There's sympathies, but there's sympathy. He's pathetic. Everything you could possibly have.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing with that character. I've never really known how to feel about that character. Do we like him? Are we supposed to hate him? Do we just pity him? But I mean, he does kind of fuck it up for everybody at the end. So I mean, he is just
he does fuck it up, but he also kind of redeems himself too, because I mean, he's the reason that they all I don't know.
I think
they
he
kinda
knows that
deserved
Sarah
it,
and the other two are clever. They'll figure a way out somehow, and the other guys are dopey, right? So
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I honestly think he just said fuck everybody. I think that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Because look what Rhodes does. He leaves those guys hanging. He doesn't care about his men.
Yeah. I think he just said, I'm going out, you guys are coming with me.
Yeah.
So why were they fighting just now? I never understood that.
They're
having
just
fun?
fights.
Yeah,
There's
they're
wrestling.
fucking rowdy.
There's wrestling.
Bro fights.
Yeah. Little cabin fever, probably
Yeah, cabin
drunk.
fever. Yeah.
It's the
Bunch of
caveman big dick
alpha
fighting.
males
That's
trying
right,
to.
Circle jerk went wrong.
Yeah.
They
That'd be a whole different movie.
Hey, it's going to be a long winter, guys. It's going to be a long winter.
I bet
Find something to do.
And I bet nobody had any loot down there.
Spit.
All the stuff they had down there in that cave, I'm sure they could find some somewhere.
Motor oil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something.
I did a drum cover of this. It's I'll upload it maybe in a couple weeks or something. Walk to the Ritz.
The Roots.
Are you guys doing that photo op?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, man. I'm really tempted. 'Cause that looks pretty cool.
It's up to four folks, right?
Yeah.
You can do 4, yeah.
Hey, if y'all want to go in on it, we could do that. That one and the one with all the four main zombies from each 4 films.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They just showed the one
pretty
for
cool photo ops
Land of the
this year.
Dead.
Yeah. Which that to me, I just looked like they're just going to do it out behind the mall somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I think that's
all
what it is.
It's like some sort of like power unit behind the building or something.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a fence. Here you go. Here's our backdrop.
Yeah.
It works, I guess.
I've got a pro photo op with everybody from dawn and day, but I don't have anybody from night. So I thought about throwing in on that one.
A night one would be a good one too, because like I think what we said last week, it's like, who knows? This could be the last time that we get all them together in the second. Because I mean, Jesus Christ! John just mentioned, I think it was yesterday on Facebook, that Walton Cook, dude from the Crazies and the guy who wrote the amusement park, had just passed away a couple weeks ago. I was like, shit, we were just talking about him, you know?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom's moving.
Yeah.
But did he ever see the movie? The guy who wrote it, did he ever get to see it?
I'm sure he did. But I don't know if anybody's ever really talked to him or reached out to him. I mean, maybe outside of some of the other, latent image guys back in the day, maybe. But yeah, I've never really. I mean, nobody really outside of John, I think, has really ever taken the time to kind of track him down to figure out who exactly he was. You know, I had no idea that he was the guy in the Crazies that says, "You ain't taking me no place." Like that's, I was just like, I didn't know that was him.
Neither one of you.
You know, it's funny about the whole mine thing and the guys breathing in all the stuff and coughing up black junk and getting sick and all that. If you look at some of the behind-the-scenes photos, some of the camera guys and stuff had masks on. I guess they didn't give them out to all the actors to wear in between scenes or something. So
Yeah. Well, I know Lori has joked about how, she wondered how, years later, how many people would have respiratory problems. And
she had asthma because of it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. I would still love to get down there though. I
know there's some way.
Yeah.
I think it's just all about who you know. All about who you know, I think.
Yeah, it could be. I know
Let's
when
just put in there and talk
I think
about.
I told. I was just gonna say, I know when I talked to Lee Carr, he said that you can see like into the mines. There's like a place, like when you go to Wampum, if you go around the back, there's a gate or something where you can actually see inside the mines. But I don't know. I've never like without a guide or anything. I don't think I'd want to go up there and even risk it.
Yeah. I was close to it on my little jaunt last year, but I ran out of time. So
yeah,
I've never been up there because I just know there's no getting in there.
Just want to see the outside of it. I mean, I went to this TV station where they shot the stuff, and all I could see was the outside. So.
Yeah. Which, Paul, you've been inside the news station, haven't you?
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. I did that 3 years ago when I first went in. I was in the main area where they filmed the whole, news station with David Early and David Crawford. And it's changed a lot, but you could tell it's some stuff it was there. And then the area where the control room, I don't know if it was the same area, but man, just being in that building was fucking awesome. And the guy who led me around, it was awesome. It felt like an episode of Mr. Rogers, the way they were explaining stuff to me and talking. It was really personable. So
it was weird. The outside didn't look that big. It was almost like a Flintstone house where it looked so big in the movie, but the outside looked very small.
So tiny. Did you have to call and get an appointment, or how did that work out?
Paul froze.
I think, did we lose Paul? Yeah. Will, I didn't mean to interrupt you earlier. What were you saying?
I have short-term memory.
Yeah, me too. if I don't talk about it right now, I'll forget about it. You were saying something about this scene.
Oh, I was gonna say we could always try to go hey, we were interested in storing our camper here. Can we take a look around your facility?
I thought about that.
Anybody got a camper we can take?
Yeah,
they'd probably sniff that shit out, dude. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I've heard stories.
They see a gang of guys walking up in Day of the Dead t-shirts saying, "Oh."
Like that scene in Clerks. I don't appreciate your ruse.
Well, like I said before, find the security team, bring them donuts or pizza, and you will get in wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Well, I tried
Trust
that
me.
with Monroeville security, and that shit did not work.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with this place, Red. It doesn't have like
Monroeville's
government record
finest.
storage, so it's got to be pretty damn secure. So.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. They've
Yeah.
got some form of security to keep it locked down. But
Yeah.
Hey, you can always get a job there, I guess.
yeah, try.
Good. Yeah.
One year I went on my birthday, and I was like, it's my birthday. Do you think I
Move
can
there for a month, get a job,
Yeah.
and then quit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about doing something similar to that this year for the Al Levitsky house in Martin, where they had the chase around in the middle with
Yeah.
because I've seen that house on the outside, and it looks so cool, and I just want to see the inside. I want to just go up to the door and maybe somebody will answer the door and just be like, "Hey, can I slip you a 50 if I can just kind of look around?"
Well,
I just love the architecture of that house,
Let's go to the Martin house and just knock on the door, because probably the same chick still lives there. She'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember you guys from last year."
Yeah. Well, for sure
which
that
one?
all that,
Not the Booba house, the house that Martin
the victim
chases.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
wallpaper.
I know, but remember we drove by the Booba house and that lady was sitting out front. And...
Yeah, she looked like a real friendly person. Yeah. She was staring at us like, "What the fuck are y'all looking at?"
She probably would have took $20.
Probably,
$20.
Maybe,
probably.
Yeah.
There's one callback missing in Land of the Dead. When he went out, they should have got cans of beef treats and brought it back.
Yeah,
that'd been a great callback. Now, beef treats were supposed to be human food or dog food you were trying to feed them?
I think it's supposed to be
military surplus stuff.
Yeah,
beef treats, I mean.
Fresh out of filet mignon. Rob Lucas says, I would agree the body horror in Day is better than the creature body horror in The Thing, but I believe the effects in The Thing are overall a lot better because The Thing is nonstop with all kinds of different effects. Okay. Like I said, I'm just saying.
What's better?
My eyes.
What's better, Creep Show or The Thing?
Creep Show.
Like the effects wise, or just as movies?
The entire effects of both movies. You go Creep Show or The Thing?
I don't know. The Thing is like a perfect movie. I love The Thing. So the score, the visuals, the acting, the scenery. It's a tough.
Yeah, I would still say The Thing.
I would too. You may consider that blasphemy, but I would choose The Thing over Creep Show for sure.
But I really love Creep Show. So.
Yeah,
I love Creep Show too, but it's I love The Thing. I've seen The Thing dozens of times. I've seen it in theaters a handful of times. Like, I'm not doubting The Thing, anybody. I'm just saying, like, for me, like, in terms of like how they hold up effects wise, there's which I haven't seen Day in 4K yet, so I don't know. But
right. Well, I mean, I still agree with you about Day over The Thing, but I would personally choose The Thing over Creep. I've honestly never really been a huge Creep Show fan. There's parts of Creep Show that I like. I like Something to Tide You Over a lot, but but overall, I'm not like a giant fan of Creep Show. I just never have been. It just never really like hooked me like it's hooked a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those outlier. To me, it always felt like when I first saw Creep Show, it felt like, oh, George Romero did a big Hollywood movie. Like, I didn't know. Because you see the Warner Brothers thing at the beginning. You see Leslie Nielsen and Ted Danson and all these stars. And that was the first, because to me growing up, like, Romero was always the indie guy with all these actors that I'd never heard of before and all that.
Right.
I still love Creep Show. I love the score. I love the effects. Like, it's a fun movie. But I'm kind of with you, Matt. Like, it's not one that I'm just, like, in love with. I'm much more. I'm like Martin, obviously, Knight Riders. Like, I'm much more in love with those type of movies because it felt like a person. I guess it's because it's not like George directed it, but Stephen King wrote it. It's not really there's not a George message or.
It has George moments in it though, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Something to Tide You Over is pretty much the last thing that George ever edited. Outside of like Iron City Ass Kickers or something like that in the 90s. But...
And I literally started making music videos or videos with music edited to the beat like that. I love that.
Yeah. So. I totally get what you're saying, Matt. Like, I'm kind of the same way.
But I saw Creepshow not knowing who George was in 1982 in the theater, and I loved it. And it just had great memories
Yeah.
about it. And then I thought, oh, this is that guy who did the other stuff. I found out later
Yep.
who it was.
That's exactly what happened to me. I saw Creepshow when I was a kid. My dad was a huge Leslie Nielsen fan. We loved the Naked Gun movies, and I
Yeah.
remember seeing it. And Cheers too. Like we were huge Cheers fan. Like we watched Cheers every single night. And I remember seeing that, and then not knowing that it was made by George until later when I went back and watched his filmography. But it was really cool, like seeing Leslie Nielsen, like Frank Drebin playing this prick. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I'd never seen anything. I'd never seen him do that before. Because like you, I was a huge, because I grew up in the '90s. I mean, the '90s was Leslie Nielsen was huge in the '90s. Like like Naked Gun. I mean, you had Wrongfully Accused and Spy Hard and all those movies that he was doing around that time.
But if you go back to Forbidden Planet and other stuff, he was a very serious actor back then. The comedy was way later.
Yeah.
So
he was supposed to be like a big leading man type of guy, but he just never panned out.
It's like Peter Graves. He did a lot of serious stuff too that was kind of silly because it was like bad sci-fi stuff.
Mm-hmm. But the one of the biggest things about Something That Tied You Over that really affected me as a kid was when Ted Danson is underwater and you see that red glow behind his head.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I had this huge fear of the devil, and somewhere in my mind, I'd thought that maybe that had something to do with the devil, like he was making a pact with the devil or something like that to come back from the dead, and that fucked me up as a kid. So that always was really scary to me. But there was nothing else in Creepshow that scared me. You know what I mean? And it was colorful, and I liked it, and I love Stephen King. I've always loved Stephen King, so all that shit was really cool. The John Harrison stuff was awesome, but it's just never gripped me the way that.
Here's a dated reference. Look at that phone. That was a modern phone back then.
Yeah, you're right. There you go. Well, in Salem's Lot. Too.
And the cassette player.
You know what's weird, though? You know what's weird? My daughter's 4 years old. She still understands how those phones work. I don't know why or how, but she still has those little toy phones. She understands you pick it up and you hold, the receiver to the, So there's something instinctual about phones like that even, because I mean, I don't know, maybe she's seen it on TV or something, but even like when she was real little, she had those little toy phones, and she knew how it worked.
You should show her the old timey ones on the wall where you have to put the receiver at your ear and talk into the horn.
Mayberry.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yellow.
Yeah.
What comment was that, Robert? I'm not trying to ignore your comments, but it's kind of hard to keep up with. Like I said, round table, we're all talking and trying to catch as many of you guys' comments as possible. But
okay, the first time y'all saw this movie and you saw this scene here, do you think it was perfect? Do you think it was maybe a little too cartoonish? Did you believe that a zombie could do this stuff and it comes off as well as it does? What was your initial feelings over this scene, if you can remember?
Hell, I was 12, like 13. I don't remember shit.
Well, if you believe these guys have residual memories, like wanting to go to the mall and stuff like that, you could believe he could kind of figure out what a gun is, right?
I loved it. This is some of the, like when I first saw Day of the Dead, I didn't like it at all, and this was some of the only stuff in the movie that I liked was the stuff with Bub. I was like, wow, this is kind of interesting, kind of cool. I kind of like him. Like he's the only likable character in this movie. Everybody else is just screaming and yelling at each other for no reason, and like I didn't get it at first, but I understood Bub. I was like, oh, but he's so lovable. He's a lovable character. So I always loved this stuff. And it's just Howard Sherman's performance is just amazing.
It's like a wrestling show. Think about it. They tease Rhodes and Bub. They tease it almost like they're doing promos to one another. Then finally, you get the pay-per-view match. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. The kind of storyline that goes throughout.
Oh yeah, Rhodes certainly gets his comeuppance at the end. Yep. Everything he deserves. But
what's the one Rhodes quote that I use more often than anything? It's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?
What the fuck is wrong with you people?"
That's my usual go-to. That's my usual road rage thing to go to. Is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?"
Yeah. Yeah, this was actually the first zombie film that I'd ever seen. I mean, everything about it. Yeah, everything about it blew me away. I had a pen pal that I was writing to across the country, and she told me that her favorite movie was Night of the Living Dead. I'd never seen anything, and I went to try to find Night of the Living Dead at the store to rent it, and it wasn't there, but I found Day of the Dead, and I was like, well, this has got to be connected somehow. There's some sort of connective tissue, and got this home and was like fucking blown away, dude. Like everything about it, the dialogue, the gore, the tone, the message, everything.
My eyes were glued to it. I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Oh yeah.
I think if I would have seen it before I saw Dawn, I would have had the same reaction.
Yeah.
But I'd seen Dawn and fell in love with Dawn, and then found Day, and I was like, oh my god, more. I'm getting more of the Dawn. And it's
like Michael's saying,
different.
my friend and I, who were huge Dawn fans, saw this when it came out in the theaters the first week, and we're like, oh, I wanted to like this more because I want it to be more like Dawn.
Yeah.
And then it took a while to grow on me, and now I love it. So.
Yeah, that was from what everybody that I've talked to in the same situation as you, they've all had the same reaction. It's all, across the board. Everybody was kind of like, it wasn't what they wanted, which brought me kind of back to that question that I asked y'all earlier about if he would have made Day the way he wanted to at the time first out of that 3-picture deal, if there would have been a different trajectory of his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting. I don't know if George would have been as into it as he would have been, like, because George loves Day. I mean, Day of the Dead is his favorite of his zombie films. Always was.
Ooh.
Perfect bite.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Savini could have done that in 1980. Maybe not, but
no.
Well, see, like one of my earliest memories of any horror movie ever was Day of the Dead. Was seeing the box art for Day of the Dead in the video store when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and just being terrified. Like I had no idea what the hell it was. I was like, Bub on the front. You're like, what? That's a monster. Oh no.
Well, one of the innovations he had in this, and Nicotera talks about a lot, is the gut strings. They rolled out the liquid latex and made these gut strings. So when you pull, you get all that tendon ligament action. It's awesome.
Yeah, what did they call that? It's like
strings of guts or strings something.
Didn't they call it like string cheese or something like that? That's a joke.
I forgot, but it was like a special technique he came up with.
Yeah.
Hey, did y'all ever see this movie on WWF before?
Do I know?
You ever seen this movie on WWF before, the wrestling before?
Oh,
when Paul Bear's
goes into the videos, and he picks up Day of the Dead, holds it to the camera. Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. The Day of the Dead.
This is my favorite scene of the whole movie.
I like when he said they had to carve out the arm because it kept bouncing. The machete kept bouncing off the fake arm.
They had to put like some putty in it or something to keep it from doing
some
that.
wax or clay or something to give it the
wax.
stick.
Yeah.
Wait,
This is I don't give a shit what anybody says about the John Harrison score. This is like if you can't feel this, you know what I mean? There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, speaking of John Harrison
would
score, I was going to get nerdy here a little bit since you guys might.
I know
want to
John
about
would.
some of the equipment.
I do.
This is the equipment he used for the score. Prophet 5, DX7, Lindrum, Kurzweil K250, and Simmons drums. And then the vocal tracks with Sputzi Sparacino. They had Fender Rhodes, Chroma, emulator, Fairlight samplers, but they mentioned a Korg T3. Korg T3 didn't come out for 4 years, so I don't know why that's in the liner notes. But anyway, that's the nerdy gear moment there. So
maybe Harrison invented it.
Yeah. Whenever I hear the score, I kind of think back the Police. You're doing a lot of
very very
synth
Police
and Caribbean music. Maybe that's where John got some inspiration from. I don't know. Be a great question to ask him sometime.
Yeah, it'd been great if he'd been at a Living Dead weekend this year.
Yeah, no kidding.
But Robert was asking, I guess the comment he was saying earlier, my thought was there's a handful of great effects in Day, the rest are very Dawn-like and not that great. Well, I respectfully disagree with you, Robert.
I would too. Yeah.
Well, of course, I forgot there's guitar in this too. There's a guitar solo guy they hired for the guitar parts too. So during the big zombie invasion.
I know when they were pretty much I guess they were when they were editing or whatever, they John Harrison was pretty much scoring it as they edited it. Like they were just tossing it to him. Yeah. And he was just going ahead with the Prophet 5 and creating the score right away.
Because George was editing on like the 4th or 5th floor of 247, and then they would run it down, and John was on the first floor, I think, and he would score it. And
I think he did during Creepshow also. He was doing like dailies and handing it to him little by little with the music. So,
and that really gives you like total freedom to come up with your own themes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's funny, Creepshow, of course, George wanted to use all library music again. But Harrison's score was so good that George was just like, all right, let's use it. And it's funny to get George to say, all right, let's not use library tracks. That was a big accomplishment.
But there is plenty of good library stuff in it. It's nice. I like the library tracks in there.
But it's used kind of the same
What's up,
way.
John? Popping in late, say hi. Was that a party? Well, hey, no worries, man.
Party hardy.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. John.
We'll be partying next week, my man.
Yeah, John.
So do y'all think that would have worked? Sarah cutting an arm off. Do you any chance that could have worked?
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. We don't know. We don't get to find out.
He did run for a while. His heart was pumping. You could have spread the infection, but they got it fairly quickly. So.
Yeah.
But the thing is it? But the question is it really an infection though? I mean.
Well, no. You would end up getting an infection anyway and die, and then you would just come back. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You don't turn into a zombie from the infection. You die from all the bacteria nasties.
But then again, is a zombie thing even a virus? Is it even bacteria?
They never got into that, right?
Yeah, it's something radiation.
And then nothing
radiation.
Yeah. So
that's where Dr. Logan, I think, is missing is bacteria. He needs to study the bacteria of the brain and of the gut. But then again, it might.
Well, this was clever about The Last of Us. If you guys have seen that with the the fungus taking over, because they do with ants, make ant zombies. So it's kind of clever.
Yeah, Lori's great in this scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is the best.
And that camera shot is awesome.
Yeah, she finally has to break down for at least a few moments here. Can't avoid it no more. Got to break down.
Right.
She's an older woman. She's been through so much.
She's been so strong all the way up to this point, and then it's like she's had enough. Like she's had enough.
She's been the glue holding it all together this whole time, and then she finally just has that moment where she fucking breaks and falls into John's arms.
And then she's like, "We can make some babies." I like how you think.
Well, but what it does more than anything,
reach around, doing the reach around.
I like the cut of your jib.
What it does more than anything, and one of the reasons why I love this film so much is because it shows this humanity. You know what I mean? That's so fucking real. And it shows this range of emotion and how real that is, that we've all felt that. We've all been to that breaking point. We've never had to cut our significant other's fucking arm off, but you know, like we've all been.
Whereas in Dawn, it was just dog eat dog, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people didn't get who didn't like this. They thought, oh, there's too much talking, there's too much pontificating, and it's like, well, it's human. It's there's emotions.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. It's human. And I think that's one of the things I love about George's work so much is that it's human. You feel all this humanity in it. It's so real. You know what I mean? He put so much. Absolutely. He put so much of himself in all these roles and all these films.
Now, in my Anchor Bay DVD, in this scene here, there's a slight pause. There's a pause on y'all's.
I don't think so. No. I know what you're talking about. I've heard of that.
When he says half an hour.
No, when it transitioned from the outside to inside the camper, there's a slight pause on my DVD of it.
Mine does. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
A lot of DVDs back in the day would do that sometimes.
Because you had dual layers of
layer switching.
Layer.
Yeah.
But I got the Divimax 2003 version, whatever it was.
Irk Pick says Roger lasted a good while in Dawn.
Couple days.
But they didn't sever a limb on that one though. They just kind of treated him and pretty much put him in hospice care, made him as comfortable as possible while he waited out his his last day.
Yeah, he had morphine. He wouldn't fit anything.
Robert says, this is nothing anyone has known or anyone has ever seen. This is hell on earth. This is pure hell on earth. Quoting the great Night 90 Tony Todd quote there.
What a great monologue. That's one of my favorite monologues ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you say you did that? in high school or something at one point?
I did
Yeah.
that. I did that monologue in my high school. The teacher let us choose whatever monologue we wanted to choose, and I chose Tony Todd's monologue as Ben from Night 90. It's fucking cool.
Wow.
When we got to the part about, when he gets to the part where he's like, you gotta, and he snaps the twig. I had a pencil. And I used a pencil instead of the twig.
Awesome.
Hopefully it was one of those real easy to bend fucking like number 2 pencils, not one of those hard, pencils you'd buy at the little machine on the wall at school.
But did you cry while you did it? Did you cry?
No, I didn't fucking cry.
Okay.
Couldn't squirt the tears.
I couldn't get him out. So.
In was it 5th grade? I had a kid in class that's kind of troubled. He got mad at the teacher a lot. And one day he was crying and he grabbed a pencil and goes, "This is you," and he breaks it.
Dude, did y'all ever play pencil pop in school where you would like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pencil work.
That's when you wanted those hard number 2s.
Yeah.
I used to throw mine and stick them up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
There was the brand called Choice. They were flexible. They wouldn't break easily. They would bend.
Yeah.
This is the part where I could feel the anticipation with McDermott, where it's like, we got to get out of here. That's like, yeah, we do. Like I could feel it. Like, let's go. It's time to go.
Yeah.
And it could be this is the point where they leave. And this is where the dream takes over. It's possible.
I hope that wasn't intended. I don't like those dream movies.
I don't think it was a dream. I don't think it was a dream. I think that was just a cool form of editing and kind of a jump scare type situation. I don't think it had anything to do with the actual story.
Yeah, to me, I always thought that they got on a
we'll talk about it when we
and they
get
got
to
away.
I guess we'll talk about it when we get to the end of the movie, but I want to get all your thoughts on whether you're fans of the ending or not, because that's kind of one of those things that's pretty split between people, is the ending of Day of the Dead and why it ended that way.
Yeah.
Now this here kind of got me when I first watched this, a bit of a scare. So I thought surely he's going to eat him, but no. He just kind of, you're the master who feeds me. I trust you.
Well, this was improvised. This was an improvisation from Howard Sherman at the time. Like Richard Liberty didn't know that it was coming.
Yeah, put the Walkman on. Hey George, I got an idea. Put on one Walkman. Well, let's shoot it.
And once again, the music in this scene is it's so perfect and soothing. I fucking love it.
Oh, yeah, this is
once again, John Harrison just absolutely nails it. It's so relaxing. I love it.
Yeah,
I think Tom Savini said they actually have Black Sabbath in the tape player right here.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be something like Black Sabbath or something like that, I think.
Well, the cool thing about the music there is it's not just a fluid layer of stuff. There's actually interwoven. If you hear the time, the waveforms are offset a little bit, so you get this cool warbling effect. It's really cool.
Works perfect. I like that you picked Beethoven because it's a little bit of kind of mainstream, I feel like. He could have put anything in there, but it's something that everybody knows.
That's why Die Hard used it as well. So
yeah.
John wants to know, here's something maybe someone can explain. I don't think it was ever made clear. Why does Miguel bring the zombies down the elevator? Was it an accident or on purpose?
Yeah,
we mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was his religious beliefs because he always had his necklace. Something like that.
Yeah. I just think he was just pulling the plug, man. He was I'm going out and you guys are going with me.
I'm pretty sure Miguel figured he was a goner. He probably wasn't going to make it anyway. So
it's bad shit crazy.
I think everything with the Rhodes and his crew and everything he'd been through with Sarah, and he felt betrayed. I think he said fuck everybody. I think he really did.
Yeah,
he pulled the trigger and gave it up to God and said, do what you will. You know what I mean? I think that was absolutely intentional.
Now you think about it, what are they saying, Don?
Because they didn't show him see this.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just say real quick, they didn't show Miguel see him corral the people and force them to go down where the zombies are, but he could have been off camera seeing that and goes, "Oh fuck these guys, they're going to get away. I'm going to make sure these other guys pay." You don't know, right?
Yeah.
So
you don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm saying in Dawn, what he got the idea of feeding the dead. What's Dr. Logan doing here? Feeding the dead.
Yeah.
Little idea that carries over.
The rewards and it's just
And I know that it's not plausible to do to kind of train a zombie like Bub multiple times over, to train them all, But I do think it's interesting because they do kind of do explore this in the original screenplay. The idea that you can train a certain amount of them to kind of go out in the wild and do the dirty work so that nobody else gets killed. You know, gather supplies, maybe send them out with some guns, and start killing some of the zombies around the area. You know, so I guess that's the best case scenario that you would think.
Was also like Big Daddy. He became a tribe leader. So let's say you train 10 of these guys, let them out. Each one of those gets their own little tribe of zombies.
Yeah. Well, in the original script, I think Bub was like the leader of the gang.
Kind of like a Walking Dead to get hordes. One goes this way, 2 join, 3 join, 4 join. Just keep going that direction.
John says, I think that may be the best explanation, Matt. I understand the suicide, but it makes sense if it was revenge.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Larry says Daz has a great story about Miguel's necklace. He should tell it tomorrow. Ask him. All right, I'll make it.
Absolutely.
Well, he's actually wearing a bunch of necklaces. They're like religious icons, right? As well as dog tags.
So. Yeah.
It's like patron saint.
This is where
things.
Rhodes finally just snapped and fuck out of my house.
But even in
like
just his men are too many get on a helicopter. You ain't gonna take all those guys with them.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the plan there? Somebody stay.
Well, I don't think he had a plan. I think that's sort of the point. Is that he was just, like I said, he was just so like beyond. What did I say earlier? He was just so desperate. He was so beyond desperate.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a plan. I think he was just like he wasn't thinking at all. You know what I mean?
And he knew he was still in charge no matter what.
I feel like if he would have made it to the chopper with 2 or 3 of his guys, he would have been like, all right, well, you 3 get on and that's it. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's the scenario that would have played out at that point. Yeah.
Assuming he let any of them on.
Yeah, that's a good point too. He could have just killed everybody and was just like, all right, Flyboy, take me up. Let's get out of here. Like
in the words of Darnell from Christine, Rhodes had the gold key to the crapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene always broke my heart too, because I feel like John Amplis, it goes back to the humanity that we talked about. John Amplis did such a good job playing Fisher.
Yeah.
And we had just seen that moment where he and Sarah started kind of lightening up and laughing together, and then all of a sudden he gets fucking smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a what if. What if Steele was tired of Rhodes' BS and he shoots him right there instead? I mean, Steele has enough of it, takes the gun out, shoots
I don't think
Rhodes.
he's strong enough. He's more of a clown kind of character.
Right.
Yeah, and Steele's a follower. He's not a leader.
Yeah. Someone else would shoot Steele then. Torres or Rickles would shoot Steele.
Yeah.
They'd be like a domino effect. One shoots one, that guy gets shot. One shoots the other one shoots the other one.
Like Reservoir Dogs, exactly.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect ending for this movie, a Reservoir Dog style ending where they all just end up killing each other.
Fucking smoke each other.
Zombies don't even get into the cave. They just all fucking up. That'd be the most. I bet that'd be the most Romero ending. It'd be like, the zombies don't even do us in the end. It's all we just end up killing each other and.
Yeah.
But then again,
you
you don't exactly see Steve Buscemi die on camera. You hear gunfire, but you don't see him die.
That's true. That's true.
So who's the Steve Buscemi of this group?
Steve Buscemi of this group, gotta be Nicotero, I guess.
But he died.
Yeah, Nicotero.
Steve Buscemi didn't die.
I'm gonna say McDermott. I don't know. I feel like
exactly. I would say McDermott too.
I feel like Buscemi could have played McDermott.
Yeah.
They got the same eyes.
Yeah, they do. But he's always kind of hung under the radar and kind of slipped by, and he gets away at the end. You know, I feel like he's always kind of like, this is fucked up. We need to get out of here. You know.
Well, they're doing a Young Guns 3 right now, and they're saying, those characters, you don't see them die on camera. That's why Billy's still alive and Chavez is still alive. You don't see them actually die.
Well, they're doing that new Scream movie, and apparently they're bringing back all the original people from Scream. I'm like, well,
whatever, dude.
Do that.
Yeah. More just another cash grab.
Yeah, if there's a way to make money, they'll figure out a way to explain it in some way. Brett says, love Day's ending where Sarah awakens from a nightmare into a new day on Sanibel Island. It's contrast to the opening, awakening to a nightmare. It's brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to say at the when we get to the end. There's so much hope in it. So it's such a hopeful kind of upending, and I really, after the mood of a film that this was, and the tone, and how fucking dark and angry this whole thing was, that light at the end, that's one of the things I love so much about this film.
But still, it's kind of like with Dawn. It's and what is it? An unknown future,
ambiguous, right?
And
like
I love
you don't
that.
know what's you don't know what's you don't
but
know
again,
what's happening.
like you said,
I love that too.
With Day, it's very hopeful, and definitely a happy ending for sure.
Yeah.
It would be kind of neat for them to like wake up with Galen and Ken.
Yeah.
Nightmare City. Yeah.
It's like it was all a dream.
And the bub is loose.
Yeah, Bub in this film, he always reminded me of a puppy dog.
Yeah.
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 Just like a real timid, shy kind of puppy dog, just kind of like strolling around.
Just curious.
Yeah,
Didn't
just
really,
curious, sniffing at
like,
shit.
oh,
Yeah.
What is this?
Now, I remember this part of the film would always creep me out, it being dark with zombies, because you can't see shit.
Now, this is sort of creep show-ish if you think about it. Because you got the red pallets behind them in certain shots.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, I think,
It's like a scare house sequence. Yeah.
Yeah. Which George was never really happy with this sequence. He never thought it worked all that well.
Oh, it looks awesome.
I mean, the shovel.
Where did you hear about that?
So-
About him not liking it? What did he not like about it?
I think it was just one of the commentary. I think he just didn't feel like he had enough time and the money to really make it as scary as he was wanting it. Because I mean, he kind of did want to make it like a scare around every corner type of thing, and he just never really thought that it worked quite the way.
I didn't really like the hero shot coming up where they're all shooting with the weird camera angle. That was not.
I fucking love that shit, dude. I love that shit.
See, that is so creep show right there.
It's like from another movie.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
And you got the blues and the red, and
It's like
my room is really dark. This is crazy.
And the issue that I always had that I had with that before it came out, before this version on DVD actually, was that it was so dark on VHS you couldn't hardly see what the hell was going on.
But that made it scarier to me. I don't know. That made it scarier. It was grittier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that he leaves Rhodes alive because he knows what's going to happen. So
yeah.
The fridge has been unplugged.
What a mess he would have made if he would have pulled both barrels on his fucking ass right there.
Yeah.
That would have been a Savini effect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But to some things, worse than death.
It comes back to the humanity that we were talking about, though. When he looks up and he sees Fisher, and he's like, you can see that shift in him. He's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be like him. You know what I mean? I love that.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Plus, if he kills him, we don't get the rubber chicken, right? So
yeah.
Can you fix it? Can you fix it?
Skinny White has a good point. It says, most disagreeable or stubborn person is always right. Cooper had it right in Night, Fran had it right in Dawn, and Rhodes had it right in Day. Do you guys agree with that?
But did Cooper really have it right?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Cooper? I think he did. I think he had the right idea.
Yeah.
Between him and Ben,
only because he had to protect his daughter. If he didn't have his daughter down there, it wasn't right.
But we've talked about that. What happens when they get to the basement and Karen comes back to life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
Or reanimates.
Quick on the draw. Yeah.
But in the moment, I think he didn't realize that was going to happen. So he was doing what was best for his child and his family. Right. And I'm not staying up here and making all this noise that Ben's making and drawing everybody to the house. Like, we were fine down here in the basement before these two idiots showed up. Why are we fucking with them now? Like, why did we even come up here? Right. I'm with them. I'm totally down with them. I'm not trying to be fucking brave. I'm not trying to get gas or anything. I'm just going to wait it out and see what the hell happens, because there's too much on the line here.
There is no right or wrong answer. It's all blind luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what they should have done, they should have went to the basement. They should have let the zombies horde inside the house, and then there is basement doors in the original night that they could have just flung open and just headed on out.
Were there doors to the from the outside?
Yeah. Yep. There were.
Oh, that's right. He goes by it in the beginning, right?
Yep.
When they first get to the house.
Yeah. She's running by it. Yep.
Right there.
The zombie walks by it too. Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that Chef Brockett right there?
Yeah.
Chef Brockett, yeah. No, Chef Brockett's later. Chef Brockett's in the scene where he's got a chef's hat
just got killed.
I thought he was later in the scene where he's got the hat walking around right by Steele.
Maybe. I don't know.
And here they
Oh,
come.
here's a funny one
I
here.
think you're right, Paul.
So mailbox 22 here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Watch in a few minutes. How does mailbox 22 enter underground?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's a female.
Completely different person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that, but also it's not. It comes out of the corral, which it couldn't possibly do, right?
Right.
They were They were twins on the same team.
Hey, there you go. That's as good of an explanation as any.
Yeah, it's just an error. It's okay. It's just.
Yeah.
I only noticed recently, to be honest. So I just.
Yeah.
Is mailbox 22 going to be there this year?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's always there.
Be there,
Yeah,
Tommaso is. How do you say his last name? Tommaso.
Michael Tommaso.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
The coolest guy you'll ever meet too. So cool.
Robert says Bub killed a man. He was not a puppy dog.
He was puppy dog light. Come on, man. He was like a puppy dog.
Hey, every puppy's got to grow up, right?
Puppy,
Yeah,
hey man, puppies
great.
bite too.
Yeah,
Puppies
just
got
ask.
sharp teeth too, man.
Just ask Ed.
Yeah, Ed knows all about that shit.
Pups will grow up too. Steven says, I wonder how Sarah splits her personal time with Johnny McDermott, flip a coin, or rock, paper, scissors.
However you can get some babies.
Exactly. Mocha.
She likes a double team.
Poor Sarah.
She's going to have about 12 kids.
Yeah. Getting to that island was just the beginning of the work.
Yeah.
Poor Sarah. I just love this scene here when Rose gets on the golf cart and just floors it and it like just barely moves.
He just fucking stomps the gas and it's like
you expect it's like feet don't fail me now. It's like you expect to hear that, but it's just like it's just a
Well, it's like why didn't they just shoot him? They could run up and shot him. Look at speed he's going. They could run right up and shot him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could just catch up with him.
Yeah, they could probably run faster than that, but whatever. Yeah, look at him go. But I guess I guess you could run him over. I guess
22. Yeah.
Here's the best scene of the whole movie, in my opinion.
Larry says the guy that eats steel is director Thomas Brown, directed the 25th anniversary Night of the Living Dead documentary. Okay. Yeah, there's a who was the guy that you pointed out, Paul, that was in fucking The Wedding Singer, where the fat guy is like love stinks.
Yeah, he's got the fishing rod. It's coming up.
I never knew that until you posted about that.
He's a Pittsburgh comedian.
Love stinks.
Love stinks.
Or you could end up like me and fatty and sideburns over here.
The mutants at table 9.
Hey, this movie was made in '85. Wedding Singer takes place in '85.
That's right.
True.
Connects all around on it. Adam Sandler needs to do a zombie movie. That'd be fantastic.
He's got a cigar in his mouth, and I'm pretty sure he's holding a fishing rod.
Yeah, yeah.
He has like a towel or something over his shoulder too, don't he? I think somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I think so. Here he comes. I think.
He's wearing like a blue leisure suit. Is that him right there?
No.
Well, that was a close shot.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah,
that was him.
There's another shot where you see
the guy behind him
face.
has the towel over the shoulder.
Okay.
Oh.
So and how awesome. And how are his legs still kicking when his head's pulled off?
Your nerves
Nick,
still shooting.
Nick Notaro's controlling his head with
I
the
guess.
hand there. That's
Yeah.
Nick Notaro's hand.
Yeah, that one really messed me up when I was a kid. Hearing those vocal cords stretch
Yeah.
like that. Oh my god, this fucked me up, dude.
Wow.
Fucked me up.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
the one that gets
Holy
me
shit!
is Rickles here in a second with the eyelid up the
Yeah.
forehead.
Really?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one more than any other thing in this movie. Like when I saw that, like still like it's just like because I'm
Yeah.
really like squeamish when it comes to eyes. Like I can't wear
Yeah.
contacts or anything. I can't do that. So when the fucking eyelid gets, I was just like, oh man,
Yeah.
And that's something you can live through too.
yeah, that's just pain. There's no.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
feel everything.
I don't know, man. Hearing those vocal cords stretch and rip like that was just so horrifying.
Yeah.
There's another cameo coming up here. That's right there. That's Don Martin from Fangoria magazine,
Oh, I
the
didn't know
former
that.
editor.
Tom Savini's brother's in here too, Andy. A second.
So which
It's right
one
here.
of these isn't Mike
there he is.
Ankus? Mike Ankus, isn't he one of the guys that's fucking with
Bob Martin,
Rickles'
son of
head?
Don Martin. Bob Martin.
Ankus was one of the guys that pulls the head off. I think, right?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if he was pulling the head off or if he was with the eyeball.
Ankus isn't the guy who was shot by steel and falls on the ground. I thought that was Ankus. It's earlier.
Yeah, I'm
There-
pretty sure he's one of the
there's
guys that takes the head off.
And there's
Okay.
Savinsky, in case somebody misses him.
Right there. Yeah.
Vince Savinsky, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's old Vince.
Kind of 80s guitar riff. Just
Yeah.
can't live without that. So badass.
Well, that's something Andy Summers of the Police would do, actually. You got the clowns, hombre.
I'll say
Did they get
too,
the
like
person's helmet? There it is.
out of all the zombie films of all time, I still think that these, to me personally, these are the most horrifying, scary looking zombies on film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit.
Except for blood coloring, right? Come on, bub.
Goodbye, bub.
Now, how are there zombies in that room, I wonder?
There's weird doors and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the house from Martin. There's all these weird doors.
Yeah.
Well, they're like cockroaches, you know. Any
Yeah.
nook and crevice they'll get into.
Yeah.
You know.
We needed a map scene where Rhodes is showing somebody a map of the place.
Yeah.
I know Gary Clark said this wasn't his original death. He wanted to be a Catholic, and George let him, I guess, do the sign of the cross before he blew his head off or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to have some redeeming moment at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, like a redemption.
Ask for forgiveness. Which you gotta admit, if they're coming after you, why not?
It's a great shot and a great effect. Yeah.
I love how he sold the shot of the body dropping. Right, he didn't just go gently
Yeah.
down. Right.
Yeah,
so.
he fucking dropped. Very violent.
Hey.
Here's a tribute to Chuck Norris.
Missing in action.
I was thinking more like Delta Force.
Yeah, Synth, I love this scene.
Really at the service.
I like it.
Temporarily at the service.
Temporarily out of service.
See, they did this now. They could CGI a missile in that silo.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
This is one of my favorite shots in the film too, when the camera kind of dollies around the ladder as they're climbing
Yep.
up. I love that shot. It's one of my favorite
Guess
shots.
The term "puss brain bag of shit" comes in there.
Well, I like when he calls Bub puss fuck.
Yeah.
You puss fuck.
You puss fuck.
You suck.
You fuck.
Come on, Johnny.
This is the promised land.
That was an ad lib, right? Wasn't Puss fucking ad lib?
Oh, probably. I don't
I'm
know.
sure. I hate when people throw guns away in movies. I'm like, you motherfucker, do you know how expensive that thing is? What if you find bullets later?
Especially, that's a good gun that would last a long time.
Yeah.
See, here's what I'm talking about. Now we get to WrestleMania. Now we're Starrcade. They've been teasing this fight, doing promos on each other, and here they are.
This is Undertaker versus somebody. Is that
Yeah.
You wrestling guy.
Ankus is next to Nicotero. Nicotero pulls the head away. Ankus was to Greg's immediate left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is this Undertaker versus Sting? Is that what?
No.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like I feel like this is New Jack versus like
Gypsy Joe.
Gypsy
No,
Joe.
no. Yeah, well.
Like, seriously.
You have some Gypsy Joe stories, don't you, Will?
I have some Gypsy Joe stories, trust me.
Or did you ever see New Jack throw Vic Grimes off that cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
By the way, Undertaker versus Sting was the latest Western reference I could make. I don't follow wrestling anymore. So.
What's the line where New Jack, where he tases Vic Grimes up there on that scaffold, and Vic Grimes like, I can't feel my legs, and New Jack's like, motherfucker, you won't need to.
You need them. Yeah.
Do you guys think Rhodes has any idea about what's about to happen to him?
No.
I think he's gone here. He's gone.
Yeah, he's completely panicked, and he's just trying to
you
save
would think
his
he
own
knows
ass.
where that door goes to, but in this moment he's panicking, so he's...
Yeah.
His worst fear has come to reality.
Yeah. He's gonna bleed to death anyways.
Yeah. I mean, because that is fear. That is absolutely fear on his face.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's completely panicked, and he's just trying to save his ass, like he has been the whole fucking movie.
All right, everybody, we gotta do it. We gotta do it. And then Bub just walks off.
He's like, "That's what you get, motherfucker."
There's always a big question. What does Bub do after this? I mean,
who knows?
Yeah, does he get out, or does he just wander those halls until he?
That's such a what if.
It's the most like satisfying villain death of like any movie ever.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like everything you want.
Can't wait to get the action figure where you can take them apart, so that.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking it.
And you know what sucks is that Joe.
And we know what that was.
Joe would get such a kick out of that if he were here. That he would have his own action figure that actually comes apart like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's George.
The scarf.
His quick little cameo there.
The mandatory banquet scene.
Yeah. Gotta have it.
I like the rejection of the dog tags there. That's great. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that always creeped me
metal.
out.
Tastes like blood. Metal. Yeah.
Spitting the dog tags out. Yeah.
Well, even the guts they're eating is just fantastic. Nobody's done anatomy like this ever before. No.
Yeah.
I mean, just fantastic. Now they're all got their belly full.
You also got to think too. You also got to think and take into consideration at this point in the timeline, these zombies don't get to eat too fucking often. Like they're not finding fresh victims very often anymore. So when they get them, they're probably it's like an Ethiopian.
Yeah.
At a Golden Corral or something. It's like
they're fucking ravished.
See, to me, this is where the final dream starts.
I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna bring it up
like
next
that,
week.
Paul? Ethiopian at a Golden Corral.
Well, the one thing you remember, he said, "Got to gas up the whirlybird," and they didn't, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that they didn't, right?
You just came up with your next T-shirt. I hope you know that.
No, I've seen what happens when you make Ethiopian jokes. It doesn't turn out well for some folks.
Oh, the Ethiopian from South Park.
Yeah,
actually,
South Park
Jim
did it. So yeah, I'm talking about Cornet. Yeah.
Yeah, bucket of chicken across Ethiopia.
Talking about Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's all right. He's a millionaire. He's all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I love listening to tell stories about wrestling.
So, what do you guys think about this ending here? Fans or not?
Like,
how does it end? Like, what happens to them? Is this what really happens to them, or is this?
If it was a proper trilogy, it's a great happy ending because you don't want to leave on a downer. So.
Well, you know, zombies are in the water if you watch Felucci movies, so not safe on an island.
Or shockwaves. Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what George. The George didn't land; they literally just walked under the water to the Tri Rivers or whatever.
It's hopeful. It's uplifting. I feel like it gives our heroes what they deserve.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect ending. I really do. It stays ambiguous at the end. You don't know what happens to them, and that's the way it needs to be. Why? That's the perfect end to a story. You don't need to know what happens after that.
And it's worthy to stand up and clap after. Just
Absolutely.
worked perfectly.
Actually, the best ending is before they fade out before Sputsy Spare gets in there.
Yeah, there you go. That's
no, I'm just kidding. It's all right. I'm just kidding. It's okay. It's all right.
No, I'm with you. Like, I do not understand this choice of music here, but I never did. I was like, where did this come from?
World inside your
They were
eyes
supposed to sing at the first Living Dead week, or the 2021. They were supposed to be there doing some kind of live performance, and they never. I guess I don't know if it's because of the COVID thing or whatever, but they never showed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they chose this instead of If Tomorrow Comes, right?
Yeah.
That one's worse.
Yeah, that one's a little worse. This one, hey, it's a catchy song, but I don't know, man. For like the end credits of a Romero film, it's just it's a little different.
At least it's at the very end where he starts singing, so people have probably already left. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It doesn't kick in right away.
Well, I mean, they did release.
Definitely very hopeful for.
They did release this on a soundtrack, so maybe they're going for a hit single, something radio would play. That could have been a mindset there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Could be. Maybe it was something requested by Saturn Records, I guess, was the record company that put out the
Saturn.
Didn't they do a soundtrack, then a single of just a song? Didn't they do that?
Yeah, this one and
what's the B-side?
The Dead Walk went on a B-side.
Mm-hmm. Brett says Rhodes also failed at training his men on taking careful aim. They all did a spray and pray when they panicked. A few men with M16s and good marksmanship could have survived the zombie horde. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Rhodes was really was training them. I think at that point, I don't think they were really reverting back. Like, to me, like, the soldiers in this movie are not soldiers. Like, they're not really reverting to their. They're not depending on their training, and it's just like, hey, we were soldiers. Now we're just crazy motherfuckers stuck down here with a uniform and then the right to carry these big machine guns.
Yeah,
there's nothing soldierish about them, really.
Right. There's nothing tactical about their mission. They're just pretty much just fucking sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Plus, how many rounds did they have on their person at that time? How many magazines did they have? Yeah.
That's a good
question. The last few guys didn't get a chance to even load them. They panicked and didn't even use their magazines.
Not enough to blow the piss out of them.
And Rhodes dropped his,
Robert says Land tells us he reverts back to nothing. Larry says, I love Matt's enthusiasm for Day. There you go.
It's my favorite movie. We talked about going back and forth between Dawn and Day, and right now it's Day. I mean, it's just the way the tide. It's the way.
Now
the
that we
tide
just
flows,
watched Day, it's Day as a Dead right now.
Yeah,
I'll stick with Day any day of the week.
There's so much. There's just so much meat on the bone with that film, and there's so much to talk about, and so much you could say about it. It's not just a zombie film. There's so many layers, and it's so nuanced, and there's so much going on with it. You know what I mean? And it's sort of a kind of an analogy of what George's career was at the time and what he was going through. And it's just like an angry, moody, dark film with this beautiful, hopeful ending at the end of it. What's not to like about that?
But Dawn also has a lot of layers and a hopeful ending, kind of.
Yeah,
but not as much as Day. Day definitely with the music and stuff, and it goes all throughout the credits. That's like they're gonna be just fine. Make some babies. You know?
Yeah, make some babies.
Well, I mean, they're on an island. I mean, you know, it's like there's still some threats on an island that they have to worry about, like, you know, food and fresh water, and you know,
Dr.
who knows
Menard
how
and stuff.
long?
Yeah.
Fran
Yeah,
is
exactly.
lucky.
Yeah, it's like who knows how long they
Fran is
survive
lucky
on
'cause
that
she knows-
island.
she's with the guy who knows
It's
how to
not
get-
like they live long enough to even make babies at that point.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they're just there to live out the final few days before they starve to death or die dehydration. They're just fishing and just instead of worrying about. And I think that could be also a thing that Romero. Which when people talk about zombie films, that's the one thing they really leave off. There is no winning. Like there's no like, oh, we beat death. Nobody beats death.
No.
We all die.
Yeah.
We all there's an ending for all of us. And if we come back, it's like you could be the last surviving human on Earth, but at some point you will die and you will come back. So the zombies will always win. There is no winning. So why not be like what John is saying in the movie and just say, fuck it, why are we fighting it? Like we're all headed in the same we're all headed to the same destination.
Right.
Let's just enjoy being alive while we can before it's too late.
Exactly.
Well, the will to live and the will to survive is just part of our human nature. Even if we are facing something like that, we still want to live in some form or another. It's just part of who we are as Homo sapiens, if you will. You know,
it's because no matter what, being alive is always better than being dead. Because if you're not alive, like nothing matters. Like there's nothing. I don't know. It's like what the Norm Macdonald joke. It's like you know, people always talk about like you know how much life sucks and how alive. I'm like, what? Like I'd much rather be alive than dead, because when you're dead, you know, you're dead.
There's the famous Woody Allen quote that I'll paraphrase: "Life is full of pain and misery, and it's way too short."
Exactly. Exactly.
Or life's a bitch and then you die.
Yeah.
It's always classic.
The old Vince McMahon quote: "Life sucks and then you die."
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Skinny White says that calendar dude, she has McDermott down for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. John written down for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and they have crab fights for the privilege on Sunday.
There you go.
That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
That
makes sense to me.
Fights.
Tracking her ovulation dates, you know.
She seems like she would be on top of that. Marking the calendar like that, she seems like she would know when she's ovulating.
Yeah.
I know.
She's a scientist. She knows this shit. Yeah.
Well, think about everybody down. Think about everybody down there. Miguel got to hit that. Out of everybody, Miguel got to hit that. And what did he do to deserve that among everybody else? I don't know.
Well, by the time we caught up with him,
come on.
Yeah, by the time we caught up with him, Miguel may have been the coolest guy down in the cave at one point, but you know, he started to turn to Jello. You know,
no, he had the biggest piece of meat in that cave.
With a radio, I guess.
That's the thing too. Just talking about the calendar, I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of similarities between Sarah and Fran and Dawn. Like even down to like they both are keeping track of the days on the calendar at one point. You know, so.
Well, women are better at time management, so.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, I don't know. It depends on the woman sometimes.
But Sarah was a scientist, so she knows how to figure out all this shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was Day of the Dead, guys. Any final thoughts on the film or any parting words? We're about 2.5 hours in. I'll probably go ahead and let you guys get off here early. I know we did 4 hours last week, and I was like,
yeah, I saw that. I was like, 4 hours?
It's like,
that was awesome.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say at the end of it's the 1998 Day of the Dead DVD, and then I think the Scream Factory one, it says like soundtrack courtesy of Saturn Records, and it has the logo. The 2003 one does not have that.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Seal of quality.
Yeah.
Well, what else did Saturn Records do? Do you know much about them? I don't.
I don't know. Just Day of the Dead, as far as I'm concerned, and Spitsy, Sputnik, whatever her name. Yeah, Sparacino, something like that.
Spitzy. I like Spitzy.
Spitzy's Pizza Parlor. Yeah.
Well, technically, that was part of Method Man, right? So they were pretty famous.
Yeah.
I know
But
for me,
guys, it's a fantastic movie. What can I say? I love it.
Yeah, 40 years.
Enjoying it with you guys. Yeah, it's a privilege.
Absolutely.
So
see, I first saw it when I was 8 years old, 1993, and all these years later, I still find new stuff. And then you learn about the Romero family. You learn who Tom Savini is. You learn who John Harrison is, and you just learn more and more about the movie, and you learn how it gets made because you get DVDs, then the internet. So really, the movie takes on a whole new life 20, 30, 40 years later due to technology. And we watched it right then. Couldn't take my eyes off of it. Everything on it is just perfect. And just one of the movies that's in my top 10. What more can you say, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the love grows over time. With every, I hear more and more people all the time talk about how much they love Day of the Dead, and a lot of people like it more than Dawn now. And like I said, I think it's just, I've talked about it before. I just think like people weren't ready for it in '85. Like '85 was just not the year for it. Like George was a little bit ahead of that. Like '85, people were still like, dancing, cocaine, parties. Like we want, we want Return of the Living Dead, and we want Reanimator, and we want like horror had kind of had a comedic undertone to it at that point because everything was kind of following Dawn. Like I always say, Dawn was kind of the first '80s horror movie. It was the first movie that incorporated, humor and action and the gore and the violence. And then by '85, it was like you look at all the films that came out in '85. They all had that same, a very distinct flavor to them. But Day was kind of an outlier. It was so different. Like there's still some humor in Day for sure because that's just George's. That was just George. George always put some type of humor in most everything he did. But yeah, I mean, it's just a darker and not what people were wanting from a sequel to Dawn of the Dead at that point.
No, not at that time.
No, so.
No. You've heard me gush about it enough, but yeah, it's absolutely my favorite film. Probably my favorite film of all time. My favorite George film. Favorite zombie film. My introduction to Romero. That's where it all started. Was Day of the Dead. It's resonated with me on so many different levels, from childhood to being an adult. It's just such an angry, moody film, but there's this hope at the end of it. It's so hopeful. There's so much humanity in it, and like we've talked about, just the acting and the performances, and Laurie and John and everybody. I mean, it's just such an incredible. To me, it's a masterpiece that I don't feel like has ever received the credit that it's truly deserved. But it's really cool to kind of see how the new life that it's received years later, especially 40 years later. I feel like more people like it now than they ever have.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
it's so great to see that love. And I just wish that, Joe and Gary and everybody else were still around to see and feel that love. I know, to some extent they did. Even Richard Liberty. I mean, God, I would have loved to have met him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an all-time favorite. It's a classic. It's gritty, but it's, like I said, it's also beautiful and it's hopeful, and it's just a true masterpiece. And I think George did it right with it. And we keep going back and forth too about what would have happened if he would have made. I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't make his original, vision for Day. I feel like this is the film that needed to be made. Everything happened the way it needed to happen.
Yep.
And thank God, because we got this amazing piece of art, you know what I mean? That just resonates so deeply with so many people. It's
and
almost
allowed those
perfect.
other movies to be good too, part of the deal. So
yeah, absolutely.
And
you got it.
And George got a paycheck out of it. I mean,
yeah.
Think about it that way.
Yeah.
He and his whole crew got paid to do it. So
how can you top what Matt just said? Like that's like perfect, man. You hit every key point, and it is a piece of art. Absolutely. Man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely. Larry says, to me, Day is the realest one. It's exactly how people would act, exactly what would happen. People would be nasty to each other, realist effects, on and on. It's great. There you go. And he also points out that Sputsy is a man.
Sputsy is a man. That's true.
How could you not know
He's right.
that the
I thought
voice
Sputsy was a man,
behind
but I
that?
wasn't positive. It did sound like a man part of the time. So.
And he never treats a woman right because he's a man. Or he's a man.
He looking like a man.
You look like a man most of the time. Brett says, "I love the end credits of Day. I hope the singers try again to show up at an event in the future. I grew up with that Saturn record, so it's cheesy nostalgia for me. Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't reached out to see. I'm sure they probably have, but I don't know, what they're up to these days, or if they'd even be interested in something like that. What's up, Rick, the North Going Llama? What's going on, man? Good to see you. About to hop off here. Let me hit these last couple of comments. Steven says Dawn is still my favorite, but if I'm honest, Day is now number 2 behind Night. Just my opinion. Okay, there you go.
Sure.
And Brett says, I totally agree with everything Matt said. My thoughts as well about Day. So there you go. Yeah, perfect way to sum that up. Like I said, when I first saw Day of the Dead, wasn't the biggest fan of it. Wasn't what I wanted, but it grew on me over time, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And ever since I started doing this channel, and I would do things like, top 10 Romero performances, or top 10 effects, or top 10 score, whatever. Like, I start thinking about this stuff and breaking it down. I'm like, God, like Day of the Dead is like right at the top of like every single one of these in terms of like performances, villains, all these lists that I've done, or these little top 10 lists, is like, yeah, Day always kind of ends up right there at the top. So I totally understand why it was George's favorite of his, because as an artist, we talked about last week, sometimes an artist is their most harshest critic. Mm-hmm. And if for George, it's like, it feels like it's like one of those movies that he can watch and enjoy without having to nitpick, like, oh, that didn't work, and that didn't work, and this didn't work, and this is why. Like, it feels, and the fact that there's no like director's cut of this, or a lot of missing footage, like pretty much this is the vision, like this is everything that was intended for the film to be. So yeah, I agree. I love it now. 40 years. We're celebrating the 40th year anniversary of this film. Coming up here in just a few days, folks. Just a few days, fellas.
Excited, yeah.
Celebrating the 40th anniversary of Day of the Dead at the Monroe.
Yeah, I love Day, but I have to genuflect for Dawn. It's my favorite. So.
Yeah. Dawn's my thing. Dawn's my thing for sure.
Me too.
But yeah, Day's right up there. But yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I will be back tomorrow afternoon. You guys are going to get so sick of me this weekend, but I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with Larry and Daz, Lawrence DeVincent, Daz Sargent, for the official 2025 Living Dead Weekend preview show. So if you guys are coming to the show, if you have questions about the future of the show, questions about the show in general, if this is your first time, hop in the chat and shoot us questions, comments, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll have them on, and really look forward to that. It's the first time I'm getting Daz on, and so I'm looking forward to talking to Daz. Cool.
And
don't forget the story about him shitting his pants.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna get the Dairy Queen store. I want
Dairy
the full
Queen.
Dairy Queen
we
story.
gotta know
you
that
mentioned
one.
Dairy Queen, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Dairy Queen story. Don't worry. So yeah, tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow for the official Living Dead Weekend preview show with Larry and Daz. Should be a good one. Any parting thoughts, guys? Anything you guys want to plug? Anything you got going on? Synth, Ed, Paul, you got any videos dropping anytime soon?
Yep, I'm gonna post one. The morning that I leave, I'll post a drum video I did a couple years ago. The Dead Will Walk. Fantastic cover. And I did one of the Walk to the Ritz. I'll post that probably on the 40th theatrical release date. So
right on.
Awesome. July something or other. So yeah, that's some other stuff, minor stuff going on, but nothing. This is the Day of the Dead stuff related. So look forward to that.
Very cool. Ed, Sant, you guys got anything coming up soon?
If you haven't yet, check out my channel. I have original documentaries. I've been doing some top 10 lists, some fun stuff. And who knows what footage I have in my collection might pop up. I sent you something today you never saw before. So
Yeah. Ed actually sent me the USA Network promo video for Day of the Dead for the TV airing of Day of the Dead. From when was that from? What year was that from?
86.
86. So probably first time on TV.
Yeah.
And I have the complete recording of that movie as well, but the audio is unbearable to watch. So, but it's pretty much the same.
Cable then.
It's pretty much the same version that was on Sci-Fi later. It's just a different person doing the voiceover. Other than that, same movie.
Crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah, I have not much going on until LDW. I need to kind of ramp up for the fucking craziness that's going to be.
Oh yeah,
endlessly cameras attached to my arm the whole time, and probably not getting much sleep. So
no sleep at all here.
Yeah.
Friday. I guess we'll see.
Very little.
We'll meet up. I'm guessing we'll meet up Friday at some point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll all be there.
But yeah, people want a primer who can't make it or just want to get ramped up. Obviously, as Michael said, I got tons of shit from last year. So
yeah, I was watching a lot of stuff from last year. Just kind of watching your walkthroughs and all that.
Drewski is coming.
Drewski's coming.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
McGillicuddy.
Matt, you got anything? Are you going to do anything on your channel anytime soon? I know you've been talking about it, man. Are you ready to?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I've thought about doing something like probably nothing no live streaming or anything like that right away, but maybe some collection stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. There a lot of things I want to talk about, a lot of films I want to talk about, not necessarily just Romero. But the biggest thing is I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to rip anybody off. So I'm trying to think of a way I can do it to make it creative and original. Maybe incorporate drone stuff with, that's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to bringing my drone up there. Is getting some cool footage, but I don't know, man, we'll see how that goes. Otherwise I'm just really looking forward to getting to Pittsburgh, man. It sucked missing it last year. And, with everything about the mall this year and everything that's going on, I'm just really excited to get up there and see everything again and see everybody and hang out. And, I'm really fucking looking forward to cracking open some, Iron Cities with you guys. I think it's going to be rad,
Absolutely.
The VIP thing, or whatever. But if y'all want to go to a bar or something and get some beers, man, just let me know. We'll do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's tear it up. Let's tear it up. I'm down. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do it.
Get some babies.
Make some babies. Get some babies.
Thanks guys again for coming on. I'll see you guys soon. Looking forward to it. Thanks everybody in the chat. Like I said, tune in tomorrow 2 p.m. Living Dead Weekend Preview Show. But until then, you guys have a great rest of the night. Well, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. So you want to have a great rest of the week. But have a great rest of the night. Stay prepared.
You too, man.
And stay scared.